What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. As you can see, we once again have a very special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
How you guys doing? Pickles, I think, is what you guys are kind of.
Well, you called yourself Pickles on the last
I said
pod.
Jason Pickles.
Jason Pickles.
Great to be back, man. Great to be back.
Yeah, great friend of the
You
show.
can tell him the government if you want. I'll tell him. Jason Piccolomini.
Jason Piccolomini.
I own a
There's the gov.
Thank
There's the gov, yeah. Gonna be a frequent member of the podcast at multiple points during the football season. Man's got ball knowledge, as you saw in the last episode, and you should be sure to go check that one out. We did our recap of the NFC
or
South.
preview, not a recap.
Oh, yeah, recap. We did our preview of the NFC South and the AFC East because he's a big Jet fan. That was an interesting one. Be sure to go check that one out.
On our fantasy quarterback rankings.
Yes.
If you guys are playing fantasy football, these are the best fantasy football rankings you will see on the internet. These are the most accurate rankings. I know there's the fantasy footballers, fantasy pros, BDG. I have major respect for all of those guys, but if you want accurate fantasy football rankings, you come to the BallGame podcast.
Yeah, go check out who I had as QB1.
That's accurate. That's ball knowledge. That's
ball
a good. I like that.
I guess, bro. But yeah, so today we're gonna be recapping. I keep doing this. Why? Today we're gonna be
Previewing.
I like it.
I can't English today.
Before it starts.
So speaking of, we pre-recorded this podcast that you're seeing right now so that you could tell this is now the second one we're doing today. So I'm fumbling all over my words. So we're going to be previewing both of the West divisions in the NFL. Obviously, that means the reigning Super Bowl champs are going to be spoken about, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of that stuff. So,
and we're going to be doing our fantasy tight end rankings.
There it is. As he said, the best fantasy rankings on the planet, on planet Earth. Doesn't matter what country you reside in, we have the best.
And it's fun for before we get into the division stuff. Tight end rankings are going to be fun this year because it's the first year in a while where it's not just Travis Kelce won and everyone else. Yeah. Yep. We talked about it before. There's a bunch of guys who it's really in their range of outcomes to potentially be the tight end one. So it should be fun and interesting. But before we get into the division previews, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, follow us on all our socials linked in the description, and check out the last pod.
Yes. Follow us on TikTok. Get us 10K.
Yeah, follow us on TikTok.
All right. So without further ado, I guess we jump straight into it. And start off with the AFC West. And, of course, we're going to start off with potentially the worst team in the entire NFL, depending on who you ask. So the Denver Broncos had an over-under on FanDuel, by the way, of 5.5. I smash the under, personally. I think this Denver Broncos team is going to be incredibly awful, at least the offense will. It's either a rookie Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, or Zach Wilson. Ask this guy how the Zach Wilson experience has turned out for him. I don't think he's going to be the starter for them. It's probably going to be Jarrett Stidham, and that doesn't exactly inspire a whole lot of confidence in me. And, of course, like the one bright spot about this offense, I will say it's a very good offensive line, but the weapons are absolute dog shit. Courtland Sutton is currently holding out. Don't see an end result in that one. I think he might get traded soon. But I will say there's one bright spot to this team. It is the defense. I think it's very young and very talented. I think there's a lot of potential here, but I still don't think it's good enough to carry an offense that's going to be piss poor this year. So it's kind of where I stand with the Broncos, and I had them at 3-14.
Good.
Yeah,
Actually, I'll go ahead because you might have more to say.
You like the Broncos, so.
There's really not much to say. I'd slam the under as well. I mean, when you're going into a season with Jarrett Stidham potentially being your starting quarterback, it's not a lot to be excited about. Like you mentioned, they do have some good pieces on the defensive side of the ball. I'm a big Caden Stearns fan. He really showed out last year, so shout out to him. But, I mean, you added JFM, John Franklin Myers.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, congrats on that. Cody Barton came over, I think.
I think they got some really good pass rushers there that are underrated and not unknown, honestly.
Yeah, they have some solid pieces on defense, but, I mean, this team's a ways away from winning anything meaningful. They went and got Josh Reynolds. Congrats on that, I guess, but
didn't know that happened.
Don't really matter. It's a shame Javonte Williams' career kind of has gone the way it went. I was a big Javonte Williams fan. I'm always going to root for my UNC guys. But
it's Jaleel season.
I think Jaleel McLaughlin's a good ball player. He's a good ball player, but
he fell out of favor with them last year.
Yeah, he's a good ball player, but this is an easy under. Like I said about the Saints in the last episode, the Broncos are a team that I'm not going out of my way to watch, and it's gonna be a shame when we get one of those fucking like Broncos Raiders Thursday night football games, man. But like honestly, I could use one of those tonight. Like today's Thursday when we're recording. I would love a Broncos Raiders game right now. Oh my God, it would hit like crack.
Jason would be super horny for that game. He gets Bo Nix versus Aiden O'Connell, bro.
That is, jeez. It's so funny because like I am excited to watch the Broncos. I'm going to watch the Broncos every single game they play.
That's
if I can.
Horrible.
I love. It's so tough.
I love bad football.
I love it's tough for me to actually say this because like. It's been now years of me saying how much I love Bo Nix. And you guys know this because he's been in college for like 10 of those.
10 of
them.
Like,
I love Bo Nix so much. The Bo Nix experience in college is one of the craziest college experiences any quarterback's ever had. Him drafted at number 12 is absurd. That was crazy. But I call that. I said he was going to be a first-round pick. So that's like my guy. Like I have to stand with him, and quarterback is the most important position. So if my favorite quarterback is on the Broncos, picking them under 5.5 just hurts. But I can't realistically, like, if you guys were to bring up the schedule and I would go over the games, I don't know.
We're
if I would
definitely
have
doing this.
Oh yeah.
Now you're on.
Yeah,
the
bring
spot,
that shit
Jason.
up.
But
I don't
continue.
know. Right now, I do have them lower because of that reason. I have them lower than 5.5. Maybe with the schedule, you guys can convince me, even though I'm the Broncos guy, to be more than 5.5.
I don't think we're gonna. I think you're gonna.
I can tell you right now, I'm not convinced.
Yeah, you're gonna have to convince yourself.
Okay. Broncos country. Let's ride. All right, here we go. So week 1, they travel to Seattle to face off against the Seahawks.
Give me the Broncos.
This fucking guy.
All right, 1-0.
I'm already sick and tired of this shit. They're at home and Mile High against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Give me the Broncos.
Okay, you're on fucking
The
crack,
Broncos.
brother.
Hold on a second.
They're losing at least one of those two.
These are winnable games, though. These are winnable games.
Oh my
Give me the
God.
Broncos. Hold on.
Then they travel to Tampa to face the Buccaneers.
Give me the Broncos. Whoa.
Stop.
They're 3-0. Here we are.
Okay, to be fair, the first 2 games could have been a lot worse. I expected them to get slept. Those are.
They're getting slept week 1.
All right. But the
And
next
week 2, the Steelers will dog them.
Come on, fix it, bro. We're not going into week 4 3-0, bro.
All right, we'll see. I'll
say
fix
2-1.
Fine. We'll meet in the middle.
All right, we'll give you 2-1 going into.
Don't even believe we're giving you 2-1, which is also crazy.
I thought.
All right, so week 4, then they travel to New York to face your boys, the New York Jets. There you go. Okay.
2-2.
Cool. Another team that is a whole bunch of hot ass booty cheeks that you love, the Las Vegas Raiders. They're home for this one.
They'll split the Raiders.
So they take this one at home.
Take this one at home.
All right, so 3-2.
Following week, they travel. Oh no, they're home against the Los Angeles Chargers.
Home? All right, they'll split
Home
the
against
Chargers.
Okay.
4-2.
This is fucking insane.
Come on, bro.
Go to New Orleans, face off against the Saints on a short week. It's Thursday Night Football.
Bro, I could see them happening. I'm not gonna piss you guys off though. I'll say they lose. I'll say they lose.
4-3.
I already know he's giving them a win for this one. They're home against the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, they're winning that game though. Stop. They're winning that game. They're winning that game.
They really have to go.
They're gonna lose a bunch here.
Run the table the opposite way right now. All right, here we go. At Baltimore.
Okay, loss.
5-4.
At Kansas City.
Loss.
5-5.
They're home against the Falcons.
Loss.
Okay.
5-6.
Travel to Las Vegas. We said they were
This
splitting.
is a no. 5-7.
They're home against Cleveland.
Jesus Christ. Loss.
5-8.
But I wouldn't be that surprised.
5-8.
Here's their bye week. Indianapolis Colts, but they're home.
Off a bye week. Oof. That's tempting.
With Sean Payton.
It's a loss.
All right, 5-9.
Wow, okay.
It's a loss. It's a loss.
We said they were splitting with the Chargers, right?
Yes, that's a loss.
Well, there you go.
5-10.
Next week, it's at Cincinnati.
It's a loss.
And then the final week of the
5-12.
season,
Oh,
It's the Raiders.
the Kansas City
Okay.
Chiefs.
Okay, they don't split that.
So 5-12.
But you guys,
You got
Wow.
close. All right.
but to be fair, I had them starting off high. You guys added a loss that I didn't have. So low key, I'm tempted to put them over.
All right, take the over, brother.
But I don't think I can.
Take the over, brother.
I don't think I can.
I think we were helping you out.
We were
Oh,
helping
okay.
you.
To be fair,
Bro, you're telling me they're going to win one of the Seahawks,
No.
Steelers, and
I'm blinded. The thing is that they won't have that many wins if they start with Jared and not Bo. If they start Bo Nix, it's different.
Yeah, but
if they
they're not throwing Bo Nix right
All
into
right.
the
no,
So
you
then-
know
so
what?
then under,
He's,
so then under.
he's right. If Bo Nix starts,
They lose even worse.
they'll lose more games.
Stop, bro.
Can't wait
Now
for
you're in
those 2-yard targets to Jaleel McLaughlin or whatever the fuck
That's
his name
Cooks.
is. Every time. Troy Franklin breaking out. Watch that.
100%. So I'll take the under. I'll stick with the under. Bo Nix's gonna surprise some people. Clearly, Bo Nix's gonna surprise 2 people on this couch. So just watch. But the beginning of the season, it'll be tough for Jarrett. So it sucks. I do want to stand on business. They're not gonna let me though, because they're gonna kind of hide Bo Nix. So
for at least, I'd say
Don't say half the
probably
season.
till.
Not the bye week. That bye week.
No, it can't be the bye week. It's too far. After that Thursday night game.
Which one?
They have the
Saints?
Thursday night game.
Short week Saints. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also late. But I could see that. No, it's
Week
about
7.
midseason. Yeah, week 7, I could see that.
I mean, like, I understand their team sucks.
So week 8 against the Carolina Panthers. That's what I told you after 10 days off. That's what I told you was going to be the Bo Nix week. Week 8 against the Panthers. They're going to want to set him up for
8 games of Jarrett Stidham is crazy.
7 games.
That's crazy.
Sean Payton loves Stiddy.
Yeah,
So-
City is crazy.
All right,
All right.
that under, clear under.
All right,
right, there
that's
we go.
enough about the
All right,
Broncos.
enough about that team. Another team that I think you're going to try to turn us around on this one now.
Sure.
We're going to have to do their fucking schedule, too.
We are definitely doing their schedule. And that is the Las Vegas Raiders with an over-under win total on FanDuel of 6.5. So I feel like this team has the widest range of outcomes because I think their defense is going to be like
Top 10.
really
Top 10.
good.
Top 10.
Antonio Pierce is awesome. And their offense has all the makings of a great offense. It's just who the fuck is their quarterback. And it just so happens that quarterback is, the most important position in football. I took the under. I have them at 6-11, and that's only because of their quarterback. I could see them being, honest to God, see them being 9-8, but a lot would have to break right for them. And who's the starter come week 1? Because I don't know if Aiden O'Connell's even an NFL quarterback. But we'll see. Like I said, I like the roster. I love the roster. I think this is a team that, and I texted you this. If they had Michael Penix, I'd say they're 10-7. I'm not even joking.
Which I still think is crazy.
I think they could be 10-7 with the Michael Penix.
Crazy.
I'm very high on
Who's more
Penix.
fucking delusional on
The
this
thing is,
guy?
here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. He's delusional with Michael Penix. If Michael Penix was the Broncos quarterback, you'd think differently of the Broncos.
No, their weapons suck.
You wouldn't have them over 5.5 of Michael Penix?
No.
Really?
Yeah, no. Broncos.
That's not your boy, then.
atrocious.
So Michael Penix not your
I
boy.
love Michael Penix. I think Michael Penix would fit this team perfectly with the Raiders. They have a good offensive line. They have weapons. They didn't need Brock Bowers. They didn't need Brock Bowers, but they
That's a
took
luxury.
Brock Bowers. That was a luxury pick, sure. A luxury pick without a fucking quarterback. Congratulations. So anyways, I don't know how to feel about Zamir White. I think he'll be solid, but all in all, this could be a ball control type team. Rely on the defense, run the football a lot. Maybe
Love
it
it.
does work out.
Love it.
But does Devontae Adams regress yet? I don't know. We'll see. So there's too many questions here. I took the under. I'm willing to be wrong about this team.
Yeah, I took the under, too, but again, like you said, you actually summed it up perfectly. I completely agree. I'm willing to be wrong about them. I was wrong about them last year as they won 8 games, which still actually doesn't really make sense. It's a miracle
makes
that
no
they
sense.
Seriously.
like. Are they going to have?
Antonio Pierce is good.
Are they going to have another miracle though again?
Yeah, well, this time.
Listen, the
It would
roster,
be a miracle, yeah.
the roster got significantly better. They had
Added Christian Wilkins.
They had a phenomenal offseason. You add
100%.
Christian Wilkins, you
Killed the
add
draft.
Brock Bowers, you add Jackson Powers Johnson.
Yep.
Like they had a phenomenal offseason. I'll give them that, but man,
There's no reason why you shouldn't be convinced. Because realistically, like, now you get the first full year of Antonio Pierce. And it's a miracle last year because you have rookie AOC. Realistically, I don't know if AOC can be worse than last year. Can he? Is that like a possibility? Because he wasn't
right,
great.
but also
He wasn't
listen, I know
worst.
people have a lot to say about Josh Jacobs, but they want to run the ball.
Yes.
But one, because the quarterback situation sucks, but also because that's just what Antonio Pierce has showed us in his limited time, that's what he wants to do. Is Zamir White going to be able to handle that enough to be able to get this offense over 7.5?
Are we sure Zamir White can run with his fucking
6.5.
muscles?
Right.
Like, what the hell?
I like Zamir White.
I
Man
know
is
I like Zamir White
ginormous.
too, but like, is he ready to be a full bell cow back?
He's a
Or
big
is it?
boy.
And it's actually ironic that they brought in Alexander Madison, but someone compared Zamir White of last year to Alexander Madison in the years past, where he was just really great in the spot
Yep.
starts, but he's just not that guy.
If they do
because-
committee, it wouldn't be the worst. Bauer's going to get some carries, I'd assume.
I
don't know how-
agree with that, actually.
He's gonna get some
I think
carries.
he's going to be involved in the backfield.
Yeah, I mean,
Dylan Lawby.
listen,
Back.
if it's hard to bet on rookie
Tua.
tight ends because rookie tight ends, honestly, Sam Laporta is really the outlier of rookie tight ends. But Brock Bowers is such a freak that he could really come in and just shake this whole thing up. So
He's had 1,000 yards.
That's something I'm definitely monitoring. Like you guys just both brought up, like you could see him getting some work in the run game as well. Like this is a guy who's a weapon more than a tight end.
Yes.
Like he fits that Kyle Pitts mold of just being a football player. And it's really on Antonio Pierce. I mean, we'll see how creative they get with him. But
I like Michael Mayer.
Yeah,
Michael Mayer's calm.
You're going to see a lot of 2 tight ends this team.
Yeah, 100%.
But Bowers
100%.
ain't a tight end. That's the thing. Like,
right.
People got to wash that positional thing away.
Right. Like, I'm not going to say the thing about the Broncos where I'm not tuning in because I'm actually just very intrigued by Brock Bowers, the prospect. Like, I want to see Brock Bowers, but is it enough to make up for the lack of quarterback play and get this team to 7 wins?
I think so.
This is the team.
I'm going to take the under, but, like, as a betting man, like, this is a line that I'm not touching.
I agree.
Because it burned me last year, and they got better. Like, I will give them that. They got better. But it is a miracle that they won 8 games last year. It's a miracle.
It reminds me a lot of the Jets in the sense, like, the last few years where the Raiders, I think they were in a ranking I saw. Maybe it was Bleacher Report. They have, like, the 8th ranked defense in the league right now going into the year. I think they're a top 10 defense. This defense
completely
is
agree.
sick. And realistically, all they need to get over that 6.5, which is what the Jets done the last few years. The Jets have gotten over 6.5 wins the last few years with elite defense and terrible quarterback play. So even if there is bad quarterback play, I think this defense will be enough to will them over that. They just need Aiden O'Connell to be good. They don't need a great Aiden O'Connell season to be great.
Asking him to be good is a lot.
I don't know if it is.
I think Minshew is probably the better option.
And if that's where I said over text, where it's like, if Aiden O'Connell's that bad, you want to pull the plug and you put Minshew in, they can get hot. Because Minshew can give you good starts, which will make the Raiders great. They don't need great quarterback play to be great. That's what the Jets, that's why Rodgers is so exciting. They don't need Rodgers to be an MVP level. They just need it to be good. They need better quarterback play than what they've had in the past. So that's why I like the Raiders over 6.5. The defense will will them over those 6.5 games. It's stacked. It's stacked, and this offense is exciting. Realistically, the Jets had bad quarterback play the last few years, but this Raiders offense is better than the last few Jets offenses. It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's a nice offense.
I'll give them
It's a nice offense.
I don't know if it's a
they
nice.
have good pieces.
Everything except for the quarterback is really good.
Yeah, I like Jacoby Myers too.
And
like, he's
Zimmer.
a
Me
good
too.
player.
I like Trey Tucker
I'm just
this year.
reading right here, like they're just. Like I just don't know if they got better enough to where they're not gonna regress by 2 wins to put them under. I'm reading right now, and I know you brought this up to me on text the other day. This sentence: the Raiders pulled an upset over the Chiefs on Christmas last year, despite their quarterback failing to complete a single pass in the final 3 quarters. It was a miracle. It was a miracle.
But that's like
their
defense is elite.
I know, but miracle is they're once in a lifetime type of things.
Bro, wasn't that in Arrowhead too, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I think it was in
So
Arrowhead.
they're go for the cold weather.
It was
Vegas
Arrowhead, I'm
team.
pretty sure. It definitely was in Arrowhead.
It's not a miracle.
Miracles are once in a lifetime type things. I don't know.
They can do. I mean, realistically, if they just
Let's do their schedule. You could be the decision maker.
Honestly, I might turn it around and pick the over for this one, bro.
7 wins. 7 and 10 is not.
Let's do the schedule.
ridiculous.
It's not 16 games. It's 17 games.
All right, let's do this.
7 and 10 is not.
Are they
crazy.
splitting with the Chargers?
Yeah, I can see them beating the
Okay,
Chargers
so week one. Oh my God. Week 1 they have the Chargers.
Yes.
They're in Los Angeles.
All right, if you want to split them, sure, you can give them the loss away. You can give them that.
All right, so 0-1.
Actually, honestly, I don't know if the Chargers with this new look.
It's not like the Chargers have some crazy home field advantage.
I think the
They have
Raiders
the
win.
worst
I think
home field
the
advantage
Raiders
in
win
the
to start
NFL.
off. I think the Raiders win to start off.
Yeah,
First game of
1-0.
the season.
Week 2 they travel to Baltimore.
Oh, you can give a loss there.
1-1.
Week 3 they're home against the Panthers.
2-1.
2-1.
Week 4 Cleveland at home. They're home against Cleveland.
It's a battle of good defenses. It's so based on Deshaun. If you want to talk about quarterbacks, you got to talk about Deshaun. You got to talk about Deshaun. Deshaun Watson's not good. Deshaun's not good either.
All right, so here's how I would put it, right? I would be okay with. I would be okay with giving you that.
O'Connell, and this guy's talking about some Deshaun, bro. Stop.
Deshaun Watson sucks.
Aiden's mad good.
I know. All right, fine. You can give the Browns the win. I understand.
No. But I wouldn't be against you giving the Browns the win here.
You're the decision
what do you
maker,
think?
bro.
Because now I'm
The
trying
Browns
to.
This
defense.
is you. You're the
Browns
decision maker
defense
here.
is usually far worse on the road than it is at home. That's a fact.
I want to. I'm gonna give. Yeah, I think the Raiders are gonna get to Deshaun, bro.
3-1.
They're gonna get to Deshaun, bro.
They travel to Denver the following week.
Give them that win.
4-1.
We split. I think.
Now they're home against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They win that game.
Okay. You can't give them both the Steelers and the Browns.
Why? Okay, then take this. Yeah.
All right,
1-1
we'll go 4-2 going into week 7. I agree with him. You can't give them both
Sure.
the Steelers and the Browns. That's crazy.
They travel to LA and face the other team, the Los Angeles Rams.
They lose against the Rams.
Okay.
4-3.
They're home against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Win. They're splitting the Chiefs. They're splitting.
He's the decision maker. 5-3.
Travel to Cincinnati to face the Bengals.
Oh, they could win that game.
Oh,
They
my
could so win
God.
that game. Stop. But loss. It's a loss.
5-4 going into the bye.
Now they're on their bye. They come out of the bye and they get to go against the Miami Dolphins, who are in Hard Rock
Loss.
Stadium.
Loss.
All right, 5-5.
Now they're home against the Denver Broncos.
We said split. I said split. They could sweep
I
that.
can see them sweeping that.
They could sweep that, but I can't.
I'll
say
give you
'cause
that
I'm
if you want to
biased.
say that.
I'm biased though for the Broncos.
I'll give you.
I'll take a split. I have to.
Did we give them the first one, though?
We
on the road?
Yeah.
We gave them the win on the first one.
Okay, so 5-6.
I can't back that. I just said it like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, 5-6.
Travel to Kansas City.
This one's an L.
Yeah.
You gave them the first one, so 5-7.
Travel to Tampa to face the Bucks.
Win.
6-7.
That's our. Oh, it's not over yet. One more.
They're home against the Falcons.
They could win that. They really could win that game. They really.
They have good home field advantage too. To
They
be honest.
really could win that game against Kirk. Is it prime time?
It is a prime
They're
time
winning
game.
that game. Stop. They're winning that game.
Oh my God, AOC in prime time is
7-7.
Kirk is good in prime time. He just
So
don't
then I'll
win.
give you the loss. I'll see if the rest of the season they can go one more win. We can give
All
you
right,
the
so
loss there.
6-8.
Jacksonville Jaguars. They're at Allegiant. They're at Allegiant.
Dude, they could win one of these games, bro.
I agree.
sorry.
I think
I'm
the
down
Falcons
for
and
giving you one
Jags,
of
they
these
could.
two.
I think they can win one.
Dude, I don't know how you can see everything
So now
happening
you're
here.
at 7.
I don't know how you guys are still going to say the under.
All right, 7-7.
Travel to New Orleans, face the Saints.
They could win that too, but I give it to the Saints. They could win that too, though. They could.
All right, so 7-8.
And now they're home to close the season against the Los
No,
Angeles
7-9.
Sure.
This one's a loss too.
Yeah.
So
7-10 in this case.
7-10.
And there were a few that I would be perfectly okay if you gave them a win for.
I don't know how you could.
But
and how
also,
many-
all the wins you gave them, like, it's not like they're locks.
That's also true.
how many are you not? How many of those wins that I gave are you not comfortable?
I'm
with?
confident in them beating the Panthers.
Sure.
Confident in them beating the Broncos at least once. Confident in them beating the Chargers at least once.
I don't think we let you take one of the
Broncos.
Steelers or Browns. I'm not confident in them.
I think you
taking
could
one of
lose
those.
both of those
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm not
They're both home.
and I'm not confident in you guys fucking splitting with the Chiefs.
I agree with that.
I'm saying you guys, bro. Oh
Well, you can't
my
count
God.
that because you guys are more confident they're going to beat the Broncos, so that kind of cancels out. Chiefs and Broncos cancel out.
Okay.
That's
So it's
fair.
about Vegas once
Yeah, I'm
again
cool
with
it.
these
I'm
crazy
cool with it.
lines.
I'm gonna stand on business with what I said. I
Under?
6-11. I'm gonna take the under.
That's crazy. I think it's crazy.
As I said, I'm willing to be wrong with this team. If they prove me wrong, I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna be like, wow, I'm very happy.
I told you this is one that won't be in any of my parlays.
They're
so
gonna.
I'm not
I'm gonna bet
touching
on them
it.
going
I
over.
wouldn't be surprised if this is the team that reverses fortunes this year and turns it to a really good one. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's all there. I understand how bad Aiden O'Connell is, but
It's very reminiscent on and I know the Falcons got to like 8 wins last year, but it's kind of similar to that where all the pieces were there, but the quarterback play was dog.
so then how is is that
Aiden
exactly
But the
O'Connell's
Falcons
so
were also
fucking
in the
old.
worst division in football.
true?
Like, this
but
is the
this
division
one,
where you're
just the
guaranteed.
Chiefs.
Where I'm respectfully, like, I know they beat them last year on Christmas, but you're guaranteed 2 losses against the
But
Chiefs.
if that's the case, then I still think you could split the Chargers, if not beat both.
Yeah,
those
you could
games.
split the Chargers.
But that defense can beat the Chargers both times. Seriously, that defense can beat the
I
Chargers.
don't know.
both times.
It's I have to see. Yeah, I don't want to
And
say
same-
you're wrong because the Chargers, like, I just don't know about them right now. I guess
And
that's next, right?
Yeah,
you
it
jump
is.
right into
And
that.
same with
Good
the
old
Broncos,
transition.
Yeah.
Broncos country.
Let's ride. So next up, we have, as we just said, the Los Angeles Chargers with an over/under win total of 8.5. And for the third time in this division, I'm going to be taking the under on the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, easy.
But I will say one thing. Jim Harbaugh, everything this man touches turns to gold. I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 seasons the Los Angeles Chargers are actually turning a page on their entire culture. I firmly believe that Jim Harbaugh is going to get this thing right. But this year, what are we dealing with here? I mean, Justin Herbert's amazing. Don't get me wrong. This tackle duo might be the best tackle duo in the NFL in a couple years. I wouldn't put it past them. Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater is insane. But it's going to be predicated on the run game, which is crazy to say for a team that relies on Justin Herbert. Because who the hell do you have in the passing game? I'm confident in Ladd McConkey being a very good player, but is he your one immediately? I don't think so. Josh Palmer, a holdover for this team, decent receiver. Man, what the fuck is Quentin Johnston at this point? I think he sucks. I think he's
really.
I don't think he's going to be a good NFL receiver, and that's just that. I think the defense is interesting, but not good enough to carry them. I say 8-9 for the Chargers. I think they just go under. Personally, I could even see them having fewer wins than that.
So I actually have the over for the Chargers, and it's kind of crazy because I'm like
you're the Chargers hater.
I'm a Justin Herbert hater, but like you mentioned, man, Mr. Harbaugh just turns everything he touches into gold. I think they absolutely bodied the draft. You get Joe Alt, you get Ladd McConkey, and they got one of my guys for this draft. I had him in all my Madden franchises. That's the only reason why I know him. But Mr. Junior Colson to be in the middle.
I love Junior Colson.
His tape, like
he's a Michigan guy.
Yeah, he just jumps off the screen too. Like he could really move. He's all over the field, sideline to sideline type of guy, which I think is just huge to have in the middle of the defense. And
you're with him with Harbaugh.
And I mean, we've been saying it for years about the Chargers defense. Like, they're dog shit, but the pieces are there. The pieces are there. I think their secondary is good. I love Asante Samuel. Everyone knows about Derwin James if he stays on the field. You got Christian Fulton. Obviously, Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack is it. Like, even though they're aging, that's as good as it gets as a pass rushing duo when they're on the field together. And then in terms of the offense, listen, they're lacking in terms of playmakers, but I think Ladd McConkey is exactly the type of guy you needed to add to this offense. I don't think Josh Palmer is a bad NFL receiver.
Not at all.
I think he's solid.
He's an average NFL receiver.
I think he's solid, but again, we know what they're going to do. They're going to come out and they're going to run the ball, and I think Gus Edwards is the perfect guy for
Gus.
that. The Gus Bus. I think he's the perfect guy to be in a Jim Harbaugh-led offense.
They got the Ravens backfield.
Yeah, I mean, I just think they did everything they needed to do this offseason. The A+ of an offseason from top to bottom with the staff moves, with the roster moves via free agency, and via the draft. Like, I just think they did everything right. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Justin Herbert isn't asked to be Superman, which everyone proclaims him to be. They're not asking him to be that right now. They're trying to build a team around him. And I know they're lacking in terms of the playmaking department, but if Ladd McConkey hits, like, I think they'll be just fine. And I think this defense is actually good enough to help them out, and I think they're going to go over.
Wow.
Yeah, man. With all that being said, dude, I have them going under.
Let's go. So I get to be the guy to do the Chargers schedule. Let's go.
You are the one that
Let's
gets
do
to do it. Yeah.
They have to be under.
I will say one thing though. It's intriguing for sure, but that defense can't stop the run for shit.
Dude.
There's nobody on that defense that could stop the run. That's the problem.
You know,
so
I don't think it's a great. Yeah,
on.
It's not a fucking. I wasn't saying it's a great unit. I don't think it's bad though.
No, it's not a bad defense. I don't think.
I love their safety. Though?
I love their safety duo. I love Gilman too. Alohi Gilman's actually really good. Asante Samuel was awesome. The other corner, Christian Fulton, was bad, flat out bad for the Titans last year though. I think he's a good player in the right system. Yeah. I think this might be the right system. This
is the right system, bro.
But Fulton was atrocious.
They got Denzel Perry, man, bro.
Oh, Jesus
Come on,
Christ.
respect the Perry, man.
Bro. Oh, my God. Former Raider. But, yeah, I don't know. I think 8-9 is more than fair, and I think the following season they're like 11-6.
All right, let's do the schedule.
Let's do this.
Come on, lay it on me. All right, week 1 at the Raiders. At home versus the Raiders, that's a dub. Sorry, but that's a dub for the Chargers.
I'll give it to you. I'm cool with that.
Okay, keep track of the record for me.
Do you have them splitting the Raiders? Or losing,
I think they should both. I think we got to get them splitting the Raiders.
We'll get to that.
No way they sweep the Raiders, bro. All right, I'm not here.
All right, so we're at 1-0. Week 2 at the Panthers, I'm going to give them the dub here.
Sure.
2-0.
Yep.
At Pittsburgh, L.
Yep. Glad you said that.
Versus Kansas City at home, I'm going to go with the L here. So 2-2 going into a week 5 bye.
That's an early bye, man.
At Denver, I'm going to give them the win here. I think they could sweep Denver.
So everyone's beating Denver.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what am I?
3-2.
3-2. At Arizona.
I like Arizona in that game, bro.
I think they're going to demolish that defense. Like, I think Arizona will demolish your defense.
I think the Chargers could demolish the Arizona defense.
I think Arizona has...
No way.
I think both ways. I think this could be... I think this is a shootout.
I think it's a shootout.
And Brandon Staley doesn't win
Yeah,
shootouts.
You know what? I'll ride with the Cardinals there.
Staley.
All right, so 3-3.
I said, yeah.
It's hardball, baby.
Yeah.
3-3 now.
3-3.
All right. Home versus Saints. I'm gonna give them this one. So 4-3. At Cleveland.
They like to run, and that defense is better at home.
Yeah, we'll go with the Browns there.
4-4.
Where did Staley go? Is he on the team?
I think he's at DC for the Rams again.
Really?
I think he might be.
Yeah. Home versus Titans. I'm gonna give them that.
I'm cool with that. 5-4.
So I want to give them one of these like good teams, like these 3 games in a row here. So you're home versus the Bengals, home versus the Ravens, and then at Atlanta.
I gave them the Bengals.
I want to give them one of.
I gave them the Bengals.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which one. Let's just say they win one of them. So what is that? So they go 1-2 here. So what is that? 6 and
5. We were 5-4, right? And then
so 6-6.
So that's 6-6 now.
Going into week 14, at Kansas City, I'll go no there.
6-7.
Tampa dub
I like
at
that.
home.
7-7.
Denver dub at home.
7. And then Patriots.
New England at New England, I'll give them the dub there. So,
9-7, and then
we'll split the Raiders. So 9-8.
It's 8 or 9 and 8 or 9 and 8. That's where.
But I could see them not. I could like. I know you guys just had the whole Raiders thing. Like, would you really be shocked if the Chargers sweep them?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
shocked?
Yes.
Like, unbelievable that happens.
yes,
There's no way
I'm gonna
that
be
happens.
honest,
0% chance.
Where do you stand with the Raiders, bro?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
with
so
this guy.
confused.
I think they're going to be a 6-11 team that loses majority of their games by 1 score.
Okay.
That's
All
where
right,
I
I
stand
could
with the
see
Raiders.
them winning their games. Yeah,
But I got them up to 9 wins. Did I convince you?
No,
Oh,
not on the slightest.
cool.
I don't like those 9 wins, bro.
I think
You
they're
can't
going to
convince
be
me
8
that that defense
bro. I really do.
sucks. Like, realistically, it really was not good last year.
It wasn't, but
They're going to get killed.
John Harbaugh's here now.
This is going to be the 32nd ranked run defense in the NFL. They're going to get demolished on
Sure.
the ground. But that matters.
No, it
But
definitely
they're,
matters.
it says they were, what, 25th in EPA allowed per pass last year. That's, I mean, even for the secondary, that's not.
But I think the defense will just improve just by, you know.
I agree, but you're going to have to improve from 25th. That's you know, it's not just you.
Yeah, I think
allowed.
I think the defense is going to be bad. Like, really
It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's.
for the most part.
And the thing is that this
But
Chargers.
their
I
pass rush
think it
is so
could be.
good.
I think
I
it could be. Like,
Middle
still
of the pack?
bad. I think it could be between 17 and 20.
That's
ranked
where I was
but
going to say.
The thing is, like, even.
And that's a
with-
huge improvement for them.
Sure, but that's still bad. And the thing is,
Yeah,
that
but if
even-
that's a huge improvement
No, I
for
Where's the
them.
offense going to rank?
That's the thing too. Like the thing is that like even with this team, like last year, how bad the defense was, that team last year was honestly more well equipped to be in a shootout. This offense it took a big hit. Like it's just
No,
not
it
as good.
definitely took a big hit, but
So they're not going to win these shootouts.
I'm banking on
They're going to have to be in shootouts. This defense not going to hold up.
maybe it will. Well, I just predicted them to win 9 games.
So Jim Harbaugh's whole identity is like ball control, running the football, good defense. You're gonna get
Right, but
killed
what if he
on
just
the opposite end?
What if he just instills a system that makes this defense good?
He could.
What if it's just more than the
he's
personnel?
more of an offensive guy than he is defense? I wonder who their DC is now.
Michigan
Who
is
did they?
defense is
I'm
crazy,
assuming they're picking up someone from Michigan. I
His
have
defense
to
in Michigan
assume.
was sick though.
Guys,
Guys, won't-
Jesse Minter.
from. Does it say what his background?
I don't know, but he believes in allowing players to play on instinct, not overloading
not a
concepts and
philosophy.
putting
That's
them
not a
in
philosophy.
positions to best use their
Denzel
skills.
Perriman's your best linebacker, brother. You're cooked.
Well, it's not. It's Junior Colson.
You don't want
Oh, yeah,
Denzel
yeah.
Perriman to play on instincts. You need to coach that man. You need to coach him.
bro.
He's only good at filling gaps. That's about it.
Where is Jesse Minter from, bro? I don't think he's from.
I've recognized the name.
Yeah,
for
I don't
whatever
think he's
reason.
from Michigan. Oh well,
Yeah,
there he is
There
in
he
Michigan.
is at Michigan.
See what his background is. He
NFL coach. He had to be.
Baltimore Ravens defensive assistant from 17 to 19, and then a defensive backs coach for Baltimore in 2020. Then he went to Vanderbilt to be their DC, and then he was the DC at Michigan for 2022
Okay.
and 2023.
All right. You know what? All right.
What do you
I'll give you I'm not going at 9-8. I can't do it. I'm not.
There's no way you would be convinced to take the over on the Chargers, but not the Raiders. That would be crazy.
I'm standing on business for both. So
Oh, you know what? At the end of the day, though, the most important thing in football is quarterback play.
I understand. But that was last year, too, though.
Yeah, but you don't like Herbert.
I don't not like Herbert. I think he's overrated, but he's still like a top 6 to 7 guy.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's still better than majority of the league at throwing the football.
Yeah, I agree.
He can make things happen. If Quentin Johnson just isn't fucking
he's
dog
gonna
shit,
be bad.
but what if he's not?
I don't think he's gonna be as bad as you're making it out to be. I feel like you gotta get
Bro, that was like historically bad rookie numbers too. Like,
I'm not saying he's gonna be a stud, but what if he's just not dog shit? Yeah. And what if Josh Palmer is fucking elite?
Okay,
that's crazy.
Lad could be elite.
What if Lad is elite?
Lad could be elite.
How
I could
elite,
see that.
How elite are we talking though? What is elite to you guys?
Well, I think Lad
crazy.
could be
Elite's crazy.
similar to a Julian Edelman.
How elite? I mean, first year?
Maybe not first year, but I think he could be really good.
I think Lad's gonna come in and immediately cook.
Yes, I think he's a 1,000-yard receiver this year.
Yeah.
I think he would be
by
the
volume though.
Yeah,
sure.
I think he's
But
good.
also
I don't
he's a
think that-
good
I don't
player.
think that- no, I like Lad. I just don't think that doesn't still like move me though too much with them. Like I like Lad. Like,
No,
I'm not
I
saying
agree
otherwise.
because then who else is getting?
Some would
close?
say he's a good lad.
He's a good lad. Lad's right there.
Can he also stay healthy too? Can he stay healthy? He's not used
The
to
Chargers.
This.
The Chargers are gonna have more wins than the Raiders.
I'm not convinced.
You have to
I
put
am.
a side bet
Yo,
on
let's
this.
put a side bet
You
on
should
it.
put a side bet on this.
What's
Yo,
the side bet?
if the Raiders have more wins, I'll get you a Raiders jersey of your choice.
Ooh.
If the Chargers have more wins,
Ain't
you
no
get me a
comma on my
Chargers
back, bro.
jersey of my choice.
Ain't no
Deal?
back deal. Absolute deal. Absolute deal.
No, we need to actually shake. If we're putting a jersey on the line, because Dean still owes me a Dolphins jersey from last year.
Oh, does he really?
That's why he's kicked off the podcast. He didn't pay up.
Kid don't stand on business, bro.
I'm standing
All
on
right.
that business, bro.
Well, there
I'm
it is.
confident.
There it is. So, all right, is that all we got to say about the Chargers?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I feel like there's nothing else to say about the Chiefs, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, we all took the over.
Next
Yeah,
up,
easily,
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Over.
Under.
Over.
11.5 is the highest over under we've done so far.
Over.
And I think all of us are going to take the over. The only thing that hurts is they lost L'Jarius Sneed. The rest of the team improved.
That's all suck.
It definitely sucks, but
I actually like their corner duo.
McDuffie.
Contrary to popular belief. Not even McDuffie's the nickel corner or the slot corner, but they have Josh Williams and Josh Watson, I'm pretty sure. And
yeah, I like Williams.
I like and Watson. I forgot his name. He played for them a bit too. So the Chiefs have a very specific type in their outside corners. They like big, physical, long corners, very long. And these two guys fit the bill for what the Chiefs like to do and actually played well in limited snaps last year too. So I think Spags, if anyone could figure this thing out, I'm not stressing this at all. I think the Chiefs are easily going to be. I had 12-5,
Remember
maybe 13.
before when we were talking about anxiety about like the mic levels and shit?
yeah.
I just had one of those anxiety spikes. I have to make sure.
Yeah, go check. No, it's fine.
Please.
That would be ass if we're not, brother.
All right, we're recording.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I had the Chiefs at 12-5,
fine, yeah.
maybe 13-4. I could see that too.
14. So they could do whatever, bro. It's the Chiefs.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
I'm also intrigued. What happens with this Rasheed Rice suspension? Like, where's that going to be at too?
Don't matter.
But yeah, they got Hollywood. They got Xavier Worthy. So this is.
I think everyone learned last year you never, ever bet
against the Chiefs,
against
never.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So it's really that simple. Do we want to? I mean, we did the whole division. So do we want to run the Chiefs schedule, or we don't even
No,
care
they're-
enough?
no.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us give a shit enough to talk about the Chiefs, given they are now 3-time champs in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So
I think
Come
we all have
playoff
the
time, we'll
same-
talk about them.
I think we all have the same like divisional rankings, except Chargers, Raiders, swept.
Yep.
For all of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So mine is Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Denver.
And mine's Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos.
Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Denver.
Cool. All right.
Alright. So
Well, let's go for it.
these are the best season-long underdog picks for the AFC West.
We really just said fuck the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, what is there to say?
There's
we gave
nothing.
the Chiefs when the Chiefs won. We gave them so much fucking
We
time on
really
this
did.
fucking podcast.
Really did.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me just like pull out a stat or something about this guy so I could say something.
Wow, I'm really taking a lower in this. I never take lowers.
I never take lowers. I'm not taking a lower.
All right. So, Isaiah Pacheco's rushing touchdown projection is at 6.5. I think that's a smash, especially if Rashee Rice is going to miss some time. They're going to need to ground and pound that rock, and none better to do it than Isaiah Pacheco, the ground and pound man himself. He got 7 touchdowns last year and only 205 carries. I think he showed up and showed out, especially in the playoffs last year, to where he earned himself some more carries. I could see him getting upwards of 230-plus carries on the ground this year, so I think his touchdowns are only going to go up from that 7. So I think 6.5 is a steal.
Man runs more angry than anyone I've ever
He's
seen
pissed.
in my life.
He's pissed.
I'm going to stick with the Chiefs, but unfortunately, I'm going to take a lower, and that's with Xavier Worthy and 800.5 receiving yards. Look, I love the prospect. I think Xavier Worthy was the 4th best receiver coming out in this draft, but the biggest issue with it is he already is dealing with a hamstring injury, which kind of scares me with these speedsters. And then number 2, there's a lot of mouths to feed in this offense. I'm not guaranteeing that a guy like this is just going to step in and immediately dominate. Could he? Yes, it's Patrick Mahomes, but I'm going to bet against it.
So I'm going to take a higher on Zamir White. 4.5 rushing touchdowns. For a Raiders team that's going to run the ball a lot, you have Zamir White, who's going to be your starting back. 5 rushing touchdowns for Zamir White is not crazy. You see a guy his size, even if they get down to the goal line, just pound it in 5 times in the 17 games. That should be a lock.
Bro, his arms, one arm is the size of both my quads.
It's insane. There's no way this guy does not find the end zone. If he's playing all 17 games, even if he doesn't, 5 times, that's not crazy.
It's a big boy.
If you guys want to ride these picks or if you want to fade them, make sure you guys sign up for Underdog and use our code BallGame for a 50% deposit match up to $250 on your first deposit. You'll also get a new customer pick'em special with a discounted projection if it's your first deposit. Use code BallGame.
Boom. All right, here we go. Moving on to the next division. And this arguably is the best division in all of football. It's right up there. And that is the NFC West. So the first team that we're going to talk about is the Arizona Cardinals with an over-under win total of 7.5. All right. I think they're an intriguing team, but I'm still going to take the under. I think their offense is going to absolutely cook. I think it's going to be phenomenal. They have a run game. Kyler's back healthy to start the season. Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride is one of the most intriguing wide receiver tight end combos in the entire NFL, in my personal opinion. The offensive line is improving. It's very young. And then there's the defense. It's there. That's about all I got to say about it. It's not a good one, but it's there. There's a lot of young pieces on the defense that I think will grow over time and maybe get better as the season progresses. But early on, I think there's going to be some bumps to be had there. And even with all that being said, I still think this team is going to be 7-10, but I take the slight under. So Marvin Harrison's going to have a historic rookie season.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go.
He's high on them. So.
I'll go ahead. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the under. You kind of hit everything on the head. I'm super excited to see this offense. I think Kyler, if this was a better defense, Kyler would be an MVP consideration for me. I'd want to throw some money on Kyler to win the MVP. I think Kyler's going to have the best year of his career. Listen, DeAndre Hopkins is one of the all-time greats. DeAndre Hopkins, when he got to Arizona, he wasn't fucking Marvin Harrison. That's how high I am on him. This is the best receiver prospect we have ever seen. Marvin Harrison is going to come in. He's immediately going to go for 1,300 yards plus double-digit touchdowns. He's going to be a top 5 receiver in the game in his rookie year. You have... What's the matter with that? Come on, you've seen the tape, bro.
I have.
I like it.
Oh, I've seen the tapes.
You've seen the tapes.
But
you have a Trey McBride to be that underneath guy. You have a Michael Wilson who's not that bad.
Boy,
Greg Dortch, not that bad.
Greg Dortch.
I
Dortch
love
was
Greg
cooking
Dortch.
for them last year.
I love
Cooking
Greg
for them
Dortch.
last
That's
year.
a good NFL receiver right there.
That is a good NFL receiver.
You have James Conner, who's as reliable as they come as a running back.
Your boy.
If he
stays on the field.
And if he gets hurt, you drafted a guy in Trey Benson, who was my running back 1 in this class. I had him ahead of Jonathan Brooks. So I think this offense is going to be electric. I think they're going to be super fun to watch. And I think you should draft Cardinals in fantasy because
for sure,
one of the recipes for fantasy is draft guys on a dynamic offense that have a dog shit defense.
Yep.
I was telling Jason about it. Remember the Cowboys from pre-Micah when they were elite with Coop and all of them, and the defense was atrocious, and they all fucking boomed. Like Big Justice and Big AJ. We bring the boom.
Hell yeah.
That's what we do. But yeah, I mean, this was the defense that was second to last in the NFL last year in EPA per play. They were pretty terrible, and they really didn't get much better. So I'm going to take the under. I think just like you mentioned, being in this division, it's going to be tough to squeak out those interdivision wins. And yeah, I mean, I just think this defense might be the worst in the NFL. So
yeah, for sure. I agree with that. It's so tough to say that and then also say like it's gonna be the under 7.5 for me as well. I don't have them finishing last. That's where we differ, all of us. I don't have the Cardinals as the last place team here.
That's interesting.
But
I don't know if I do either. We should do the schedules.
Let's do it. All right.
Keep talking though.
So it's. I mean, there's nothing else to say about the offense. You said everything about the offense. The defense, and I think that I do have a big thing when it comes to coaches, like how I love the Raiders mainly because of Pierce. Jonathan Gannon, the difference that the Eagles defense had from 2 years ago to last year without Gannon was big. And the Eagles defense, obviously there was some regression there, players getting older, a lot of things there, but at the same time, I mean, that on paper the Eagles have a nice defense. It's just without Jonathan Gannon, that was a big change. That was a big shift. I like Gannon, his second year coaching. I think that it's going to be a big shift. Hopefully get some of these guys right. It's kind of like how you feel about Harbaugh, where it's like the Chargers defense sucks, but hopefully you can just implement that system. A second year with this Gannon system, I do think will have the Cardinals able to win these shootouts because they're going to be involved in shootouts, obviously. I think that they are honestly more equipped than the Chargers are to win those shootouts. I like their offense better than the Chargers, and I also like that defense with Gannon. So that's the difference there with the Cardinals. I think that they can easily sneak and be like a 7-win team this year. I'm going to say the under because I also wouldn't be surprised if they have like 5-6 wins because of that defense. But I don't know. It's definitely intriguing. But yeah, it'll be an under.
So I love Gannon, but you need personnel to be good.
I agree. They have some pieces. I like their secondary. I'm a big Max Melton believer. Obviously, you got Buddha there too, but Max Melton, man.
Rookie year corner is tough, man.
It is, but we've seen in the past plenty of times. With Tariq, with Sauce. We've seen rookie corners. I mean, Asante Samuel's rookie year wasn't bad either.
Not Max Melton, brother.
Max Melton locked up your boy Marvin Harrison, who's apparently the best prospect in history.
It is. You've seen the tape.
And I've seen Max Melton locking him up on tape. So now that they're on the same team, Marvin Harrison Jr. could have a better year because he doesn't have to face Max Melton, but they'll face each other in camp. They'll face each other in camp, though, and that'll be good for both of them. Max Melton, he's going to be a dog, bro. He's going to be a dog.
All right.
Rutgers kid.
Let's run through. Facts. Big time Rutgers.
Love it.
All right, let's run through this real quick. So week 1, they travel to Buffalo and face the Bills.
Sure.
It's an L.
Yeah.
You're doing this one?
We could all do it. I mean, I think we all have the same.
Yeah, we're all on the same like wavelength.
It's all under.
Week 2, they're home against the Rams.
Do they win a game against the Rams?
I feel like they may split against the Rams.
They could split.
They will split with, honestly, even the Niners. The entire division.
Niners can be tough.
They always hang in with this division. This division always beats the crap out of each other.
I agree. I can see them all splitting for sure.
So there's the Rams. That's 1-1.
Sure.
The Detroit Lions, they're home, but they face the Detroit Lions. And that's an L, 1-2. Then they stay home and face the Commanders. That's 2-2. They then travel to San Francisco to face the Niners. That one is an L. They travel to Green Bay to face the Packers. That is also an L. Yeah. They are 2-4 at this current moment now. 2-4. So then week 7, they go back home and they face the Chargers.
They're winning that game. They're beating the Chargers.
I think I gave the Cardinals the win. I forgot who we
did. We
win. Yeah, I don't know.
Who do you have winning, Sully?
I don't know. I don't want to say anything because then the people watching will like rewind it up. I'm not standing on business, so I'm not.
So I'll call this one. I'll say they beat the Chargers.
Sorry, I'm just watching Marvin Harrison versus Max Melton highlights.
Look at it.
I'll say they beat the Chargers. Week 8, they then go to Miami to face the Dolphins. I say that's an L, 3-5.
Sure.
Okay. Chicago at home. They're home against Chicago.
Beat Chicago.
I would agree. I think 4-5 there. Okay, cool. They stay home, face the Jets. I think that's an L. 4-6. Then they go into their bye, come out of their bye, and face the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. I think that's an L. Now they're 4-7. Then they travel to Minnesota to face the Vikings.
They're beating the Vikings.
I think that's probably a win, but I don't love that they have to travel there. That's 5-7. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Now they split with the Seahawks. That's 6-7.
Yo, don't convince me on the Cardinals over,
They're
bro.
home against the Patriots.
They're winning that game.
That's 7-7.
Oh my God.
They travel to Carolina to face the Panthers. Could be 8-7. And if we firmly believe that they're splitting with the Rams and the Niners,
Even if you say they lose both games, then
they're at 8 wins.
even if they lose, so you gave the Rams and the 49ers the win the first time, right? So even if they lose both those games, I'm convinced with all the other ones.
This is a light schedule.
That's a light schedule. You get Commanders, Panthers, Patriots on your schedule.
Bro, he scored twice.
Goal line touchdowns. Goal line touchdown. I don't want to see it. I'm not looking at these goal line jump balls for Marvin Harrison Jr.
Bro, he scored twice.
He had like 3 catches, I think. I think 2 of them
All right,
touchdowns.
That would be sick for my fantasy team, though.
I can't.
But you saw the other tape of Max Melton locking him up, though. Stop. Don't lie.
Nah, he had some good plays. He had some good plays.
Max Melton's the real deal, bro.
He is a good
he's
player.
not the real deal.
He's a good player.
Yeah,
bro.
he'll be good in like some years.
He'll be good this year, bro. He'll be good.
So
this year.
what? We're taking the over on the Cardinals?
No,
We're not, but like,
But there is
I
a
could be
very
convinced.
realistic.
I
path.
wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, good thing the line is 7.5. Vegas once again puts us in a bad
Yeah.
position.
I mean, like I'm saying, I predict the defense to be the worst in the NFL. They could easily just overachieve, and Jonathan Gannon could just be that guy,
100%,
like
yeah.
you said before.
even if they're top 20, like you said with the Cards, that's a win. It's a big win.
Bingo.
huge one.
Big win.
If they're top 20, bro, this team's winning 10 games.
I agree, man. They could sneak
If
in
they're
wild
at
card.
20, they're winning 10
They
games.
could sneak in wild card if they're top 20 defense.
So
The NFC is not like
Oh my
crazy. Not
God.
compared to the AFC.
Marvin Harrison as a rookie in the NFL playoffs, bro.
Relax.
I'd actually be
that'd be
booming
cool as
everywhere,
fuck. I'm
bro.
not gonna lie, that'd be cool as fuck.
We bring the boom.
Why is that so cool? Jamar Chase
That's
did-
what
did
we-
not- Jamar
No,
Chase-
because like
Oh,
Marv,
he didn't.
by the end
He
of his
did.
rookie season,
Bro, because
Yeah,
I don't
Jamar was-
fucking, I have
Super
no
Bowl.
like emotional connection to Jamar Chase.
No,
Marvin
Super Bowl,
Harrison,
2021. Was he not? Or 2020?
that
What
wasn't
was
his
Jamar?
rookie year,
that
was
wasn't his
it?
rookie year.
Jamar?
Yeah, it wasn't his rookie year. When they went to
No,
the
it
Super Bowl?
was.
2021.
It was his rookie year.
Wow.
That's crazy. Wow.
So it's Marvin Harrison, bro.
Yeah, but I have no
Makes you
emotional
stupid.
So maybe that
connection to
means that
Jamar.
Marvin and the Cardinals are going
Oh,
to the
yeah,
Super Bowl.
dude. Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon, baby. All right, next up, we move on. We travel to Seattle, and we talk about the Seahawks here with an over-under of 7.5 wins as well, and I think this one's very curious to me. I was very high on the Seahawks last year. Did not turn out to be all that great. I think
I had them winning the West last year.
prophecy is being fulfilled.
What's the prophecy?
The Seahawks are going to go over this year, in my personal opinion, and they're either going 9-8 or 10-7, in my personal opinion.
Whoa.
I actually really like this team.
Whoa.
Obviously, 3 great receivers. I think that's very intriguing. Two running backs that could more than take over a game at certain points. Well, Ken Walker, we've already seen it. Geno, I think, has a little bit of a bounce back season. He wasn't as bad as people think he was last year.
No, he wasn't.
But I think a year of full health, another
Well, you
year
said
with the
two
new
running
offense.
backs that could take over a game?
Well, one. I said Ken Walker, but Zach Charbonnet is pretty decent. He's a good RB2. And then you go over to the defense. And here's where the biggest difference was made. Mike McDonald is the new head coach of this team. The big deal about that, he was the Ravens defensive coordinator last year and absolutely dominated with that defense. You could potentially talk about personnel there, but this team has a whole lot of great personnel on the defensive side of the ball too. I mean, you're talking about one of the best interior defensive lines in all of football. I mean, we're starting off with Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams, bro. That's a tough duo to even get started with. Then you want to move to the secondary, good safety duo, and then you talk about potentially what we could be talking about, like the best corner duo in the NFL going into the season. I mean, at some point or another, who knows?
No,
We
I don't
got
even know if it's
Reek
not there.
and we got Witherspoon, brother. And Devon Witherspoon in his rookie season was a game changer. I mean, I watched it firsthand. I was at the game where he picked 6 the Giants, and I wanted to kill myself. But that's about that. I think the Seahawks are good enough to get to 9 or 10 wins and hit the over pretty easily. So that's where I stand.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the big stat because I'm looking at some of the stats with the defense. If they improve their third down defense, they were 31st in the league in third down
Or
defense.
Mike McDonald
That's
excels.
for sure. So that's going to be the big thing. I mean, that could really change his entire team around. Because staying out on the field long, obviously. It's hard to not like this offense. I do understand that. I think the Seahawks, they're a case where they're
about
in a
the
tough
O-line.
spot. What's up?
It's all about the O-line. I'm sorry to interrupt you. That offensive line is mid as all hell, though. That's
Yeah.
the one problem.
True. I mean, they're hoping. Charles? Do they have Charles Cross? Who
Yeah, they do.
They're just it's tough for them in that division where I don't know if I like that line. I'm going to take the under with 7.5. I don't love them. I could see them getting 7 wins. I also can see the Cardinals jumping ahead of the Seahawks because the Cardinals defense, I know that they were saying that they're the worst. I like the Seahawks defense, but not enough to put them that much higher. And I like the Cardinals offense more, which is why it's going to be close. Like I could see the Seahawks with 7 wins lose out to the Cardinals, be last place just because of that division, just because the other teams are better. That's the only thing. That's the only knock against the Seahawks. I like them. I think I just like the other teams more. That's literally the only gripe I have.
It's a real good defensive line, dude.
You know what? I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to take the over on the Cardinals, and I'm going to take the under on the Seahawks.
Whoa! I might just...
But I think both these teams are going to be right. I think one of them is going to win. It sucks that both of their line. I guess that's why they do it. But one of them is going to win 8 games, and one of them is going to win 7 games.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take the Cardinals in that regard, and I think the Seahawks come in last place in the division too. You convinced me. You kind of made a great point. The defense is better than the Cardinals' defense, but it's not that much better to where it makes up the ground for the difference in offense. The Cardinals' offense is superiorly better, and I trust the Cardinals' offense more. I trust Kyler Murray way more than I trust Geno Smith. And Geno Smith, it says in this article, Geno Smith lost 2 great quarterback coaches. He lost Dave Canales last year and Greg Olsen, not the tight end Greg Olsen, the other Greg Olsen, this past year. So is it time for Geno to finally regress, the article says. I'm going to go with yes, Mr. Article. I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to go with yes. And like you mentioned, the O-line leaves a lot to be desired. Charles Cross is a good piece as a blindside protector, but the interior of this offensive line is rough.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna have to change, bro.
Let's run through this real quick. I wanna talk about the schedule. See if we maybe change our minds on anything. All right. So week 1, they're home against the Denver Broncos. That's a win.
That's a win.
1-0. Week 2, they travel.
I know. But for the sake of this, I'll put my bias aside.
Week 2, they travel to New England to face the Patriots. I think that's a win for them.
Win.
Week 3, they host the Miami Dolphins. I think it's entirely possible they could beat the Dolphins, bro.
Dolphins are the best September-October team.
2-1. All right, cool. So then they travel to Detroit to face the Lions. Now they're 2-2. They are home against the New York Giants. And as a Giant fan, I get what you're saying, bro.
Trap game.
It is a trap game. The Giants have to win some games.
Trap game.
The Giants are going to win some games this year. I could see them beating the Seahawks.
It's a short week.
For the Seahawks.
No, the following game is then a short week against the 49ers.
Trap game.
They could lose both games easily, bro.
You got to give them the Giant game, bro.
So what games are you going to give the Giants this year?
As a Giant fan, dude, I don't know, to be honest.
All right, we could give them the Giants.
3-2, they lose to the Niners. You don't think they split with the Niners?
No.
I don't think so.
I think this division will always split with each other. Okay, so Niners, they lose 3-3.
This division used to always split with each other, yes, but this isn't Pete Carroll Seahawks anymore. I like Mike McDonald, but this is his first time head coach.
I think
the Seahawks are in a rebuild right now. Like the Seahawks aren't trying to win games. Like I know they're gonna win some games, but they're not
gonna win games.
They're gonna win some games, but their defense isn't that good.
I think their defense is very good. I think it really is that simple. It's that quick of a turn. Yes, easy.
I don't know if it's that.
In my personal opinion, it's probably top 12.
Whoa,
yeah.
Top 12's crazy. I think it's crazy. Where do you see him?
I feel like somewhere between 15 and 20.
I was gonna say 15, 20 is fair.
Bro, this is such a.
I could see them being worse than that too.
Me too.
I'm not like the biggest fan.
Leo,
I don't love this defense.
Murphy, Jaron Reed, Draymond. I don't know. I like the.
They have good pieces, sure.
Yeah. Now they have the DC. All right. So then we move on. Though. All right. Cool. So 3-3. Now we go to week 7. Travel to Atlanta, face the Falcons.
Oh.
Okay. 3-4. Home against Buffalo. L. 3-5. They're splitting with the Rams, and I'm giving them a win on this one. The following week, they're home against the Los Angeles Rams. That's 4-5 in my personal opinion. Then they go into the bye. Face the Niners. You guys said that's an L too?
Yeah.
Oh.
4-6. There we go. Following week, they're home against the Cardinals. That's a 7. That's a 7. That's a win.
I'll give them that
5-6. Okay, so then the following week, they travel to New York, face the Jets. It's probably an L. 5-7. Travel to Arizona, face the Cardinals. It's an L. 5-8. They're home against the Packers. I think they can win that game. We're giving them none of these.
I'm not giving them.
L against the Packers.
We're giving them none of these.
I'm gonna give them the Vikings next. I'm not giving them the Packers.
What are you giving next?
They play the
Vikings. Yeah, sure.
We're not giving any of these home games.
We gave them the Giants.
Brother, that's not giving
and
them.
You gave them the Rams.
Yeah, they're splitting with the Rams.
Right.
It's
So
a
what do you mean
division
we're not
opponent.
giving them home games? That's 2 home games right there. And I just said I'm going to give them the Vikings coming up.
We're not giving them any of the Dolphins, the Niners,
No.
the Bills.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
How
Or the
confident are you in that,
Packers.
though? Are you that confident in that?
I think they get one of those wins against one of those teams. Yeah,
So
we
at
gave
the
them
end-
none of
so-
them.
so-
And the Packers. Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
so at the end, we'll do it and see.
Four
I have
teams
L
right there that we
against
all
the
have an L.
Packers.
At home.
Do you
What are they
think?
at? What are they at right now? 5?
What?
They're
Yeah,
5 wins.
they're
So
five.
even if you give another one 6, and then what's
6,
the rest
cool,
of it?
okay. And then they face the Vikings at home.
7.
That's 7.
But
That's a win.
I'm not giving them the
But just
Packers
say-
and the
just say.
Vikings in a
Bro,
row,
I'm saying that they need one of the Packers,
Why though?
Because
those teams are
they're not
like
losing every
significantly better than
Bro,
them.
Seattle's one of the best home field advantages in the entire NFL, and this team is not that
Right, so
bad.
they could beat the Vikings.
Bro.
I agree with that, though. But what? How many other games? How many other games are there?
Travel to Chicago to face the Bears.
That's a win.
I'll give them that one.
That's
Oh,
8.
So I feel like
Wait, no. How are we at 8?
Then you should take away that Packers one. Then
So WW 2
you're getting a lot of wins for the
2 and
Seahawks.
1. 2 and 2. 3 and 2.
I
3
see.
and-
Like I didn't even want to give them the jump. I would have been more comfortable giving. All right, carry on. 3 and 3.
3 and 4. 3 and 5. 4 and 5 because they're gonna split with the Rams. 4 and 6. 5 and 6 against the Cardinals. 5 and 7 Jets. 5 and 8 Cardinals again. You don't want to give them the Packers, so 5 and 9. Vikings 6 and 9. Bears 7 and 9. Rams, that's probably an L2, 7 and 10. All
like
they
that.
need is one of those 4 that we just
Yeah,
we just
that's how
did not give
all
them.
of these have been when we've done the schedules.
Bro, 4 games at home.
Bro, they've all been every time we've ran through. We've done what, like 7 full schedules now. Every time they've been one
It's
off.
unfortunate. They're facing what 4? They're 4
4
playoff
great teams
4
at
playoff
home,
teams.
though.
That sucks. But,
But
it's 4
one of the 4?
I mean, maybe, but that's still risky. That's 8 wins at best. That's seriously 8 wins at best.
I don't know.
And you're not
about
even
that.
giving them the Giants. I would give them. I'm with you on the Giants. I think the Giants could beat the Seahawks. I really do. I'm a Jets fan. I think the Giants could beat the Seahawks.
And the at Bears isn't a lot. We gave them the at Bears.
That's not a lock either. Yeah, so that's
They're-
fair. All right. I think they have 8 wins then.
Once
You guys
again,
changed my mind
once
on that,
again,
but
the
I don't-
line's 7.5, and they're about a 7 or 8 win team.
And it
Yeah.
is too something with I know you like McDonald's a lot.
I love him.
It's tough though to see first year defensive coordinators fully adjust to a head coach role. Gannon struggled this like last year. Who else struggled?
I mean, he also had a rough roster and no Kyler Murray. You see Kyler
sure.
come back and they played a lot better.
yeah, and then even I mean, still this defense is tough. It's going to be a project. Staley's been a defensive coordinator. He struggled in his
Well,
time.
he just sucked at head coach.
For sure. So that's the thing with McDonald.
Rob
They don't know if they're
Saleh
good.
struggles.
Rob Saleh struggles. Even I'm blanking on the defensive coordinator.
14.
Oh, Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is not a good head coach. He's
I
a
didn't
great
think Todd
defensive
Bowles was
coordinator.
That bad.
He's a great defensive coordinator. He's not a good head coach.
He got carried by Dave Canales to the
For sure.
playoffs last
He's
year.
an amazing, but as a defensive coordinator, it is definitely tougher to be a head coach than
Who's
defensive.
their OC
Who?
in Seattle?
Seattle
I don't know.
OC. Oh, I think they hired a decent offensive coordinator. Let me check that.
I feel like it's just a tougher. Like I feel like the top head coaches in the league right now are offensive-minded coaches. You got a Kyle.
Yeah, I would
Shanahan,
agree with
got
you
a
for the most
LaFleur,
part.
You have.
Oh, no, never mind. It's Ryan Grubb. But University of Washington. So
So I'm not saying that
top offense in the
McDonald's
country
won't
doing
make an
national
impact.
championship, but
I feel like it's going to take a year for him to adjust. So I don't like betting on them this year in a defensive coordinator's rookie year. I could be wrong, but I feel like based
that's
on
And
like,
does Ryan Grubb have any NFL experience? I know he was at Washington, but did he have any NFL experience?
things to know about Ryan Grubb. Let's see what the Seahawks tell us.
Probably gonna
More
have fun
things to
facts
know.
about his roommate in college.
That's that doesn't help.
Ridiculous.
Iowa Hog, farmer to NFL. That doesn't help. Starting fresh. Right. Nope. Okay. Ryan Grubb. Coaching history. Let's see. Coaching career. Served as an assistant coach, University of Washington, California State University, Fresno, Eastern Michigan University, University of Sioux Falls, and South Dakota State. I don't think he ever coached in the NFL.
So you have a guy who's taking
Never-
his first head coaching job as the head coach, who's a defensive-minded guy, and you have an offensive coordinator with no NFL
All
experience.
right, you
The
guys have
only-
made me change my mind. I'm taking the under on the Seahawks.
No, I don't think it's
Wow.
a bad. Like we had them at 7 wins. Like it's so.
The
Like,
only-
it's not crazy to have them winning 8 games. I don't think it's nuts, but
the only defensive coordinator I could think that like really in his first year is D'Amico, but D'Amico also had Stroud have an insane. Like it took an insane.
and who's the OC there? Isn't it a mastermind?
It's Bobby Sloak.
Yeah.
Bobby Slowick's a
Bobby
dog.
Slowick's insane. Yeah.
So it's tough. It's
But
tough.
we didn't
Listen,
call Bobby
Ryan-
Slowick a dog until he
Right,
got
Ryan
CJ,
Grubb might
so-
be that
could
guy
be.
too. Like, right,
He
like
could be.
That's
what
why
he,
I don't
what he did at
wanna-
Washington was definitely like amazing,
Yeah,
and
he
that's
also
why he
had
got
great
the
NFL
job.
talent.
Yeah,
For sure. So I don't want to take a first year for the Seahawks. So do you have the Cardinals over the Seahawks or no? You're not on that yet? Or?
I think I might switch.
And realistically,
Hell
the
yeah.
Seahawks don't give a shit. Like,
No, they
they're-
don't care.
That like they're ending the Pete Carroll era. Like they're like I
That
know
is
they
true.
have some win now pieces, but like they're
Sam Howell, baby.
so I won't call it a rebuild, but like they're in a retooling period right
Sure.
now. Like they're not going out of their way to make sure they win games. And if they start the season rough, like they might just
get
bottom.
traded? Does DK get traded if they start the season rough?
I don't know, but
He could.
Tyler
They
Lockett
have-
might be a guy.
Oh,
who could
Tyler
be
Lockett's
on
gone.
that. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
All right.
Tyler Lockett.
And like teams will want Tyler Lockett. It's fucking Tyler Lockett.
Jets would want Tyler.
Oh my
They
god.
would love to
Tyler
have
Lockett
him.
would be sick on the Jets.
He'd be perfect for
Like
them.
yeah, if they like start to lose early, like they might just say fucking and bottom out.
Yeah, they could.
I mean, I feel the same way about the Cardinals as well. Like I know I just said I have the Cardinals over them, but like the Cardinals, same
They're
thing.
in
They
retooling.
might
They don't
just-
really have pieces to trade right now, though. They have like a lot of young talent.
Yeah, but they might. It's not even just trade. Like sometimes, bro, we see it, especially in basketball, we see it more. But sometimes these teams go out there and they don't try to win. Like that's just.
I
that's
just don't
what
see
it
that
is.
they're gonna do that. Their team is too talented to do that, in my personal
I
opinion.
agree.
Like,
And Kyler, people disrespect how good Kyler actually is. Like
Yeah,
you could.
Kyler's
This
that
could be
guy.
the year where he actually reminds people like I am an elite.
oh, Cardinals are. Yeah,
Cardinals
that
are gonna
offense is
fucking
gonna be
cook, bro.
insanity.
I'm just waiting for fucking Marvin Harrison Jr. jerseys to go on sale, bro. It's just this whole Fanatics thing, bro.
I'm waiting for AOC jerseys to go on sale so I can.
Oh
get
my
one from
god, bro.
That's what I'm waiting for, bro.
Like I might have to just settle for the Ohio State Marvin Harrison jersey, but like
That's fire.
it is fire.
That is a
but
beautiful jersey.
I know, but Ohio State Marvin Harrison isn't on my dynasty team.
I mean,
Well,
there's connection.
he is.
Arizona Cardinal Marvin Harrison's on my dynasty
Damn
team.
right.
Well, honestly, I think the next team that we're going to talk about, we're going to agree. Honestly, I think we might agree on this one. So next up, we have the Los Angeles Rams with an over-under win total of 8.5. And in my personal opinion, this is a smash of the over.
Sure.
I mean, you have a vet quarterback in Matthew Stafford who's been there, done that, won a Super Bowl. I think he even, obviously in his late age, this is a crazy thing to say, could be in the down ballot MVP voting. With the guys that he has surrounding him and a great offensive line in front of him, this, honest to God, could be one of Matthew Stafford's best regular seasons ever. He was phenomenal last year. Maybe didn't have the numbers to fully back that up entirely, but he was one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL last year. An elite offensive line, 2 elite weapons if they stay healthy the whole time. Obviously, Cooper Kupp's health is a big-time question mark. But here you go. Here's the new Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. So I think that's an intriguing thing. I think this defense is another one of them where it's greater than the sum of their parts. I would go so far as to say that if Aaron Donald was still on this team, I would consider projecting them to the Super Bowl.
What did I say to you the other day?
Yeah.
I said they were. I mean, when we did it after the Super Bowl, like they were my Super Bowl pick before he retired. Like if Aaron Donald was here, they would. Well, I would pick the Chiefs, but they would be my
NFC representative.
NFC representative, 100%,
like that.
like without even thinking about it.
But, I mean, look, Aaron Donald retires and hello, Kobe Turner. So it just seems like they just know how to replace these guys. I mean, look,
And
Kobe
they
Turner is
drafted
not
Brandon
Donald.
Fisk and Jared
I
Verse.
love
like,
Braden
hell yeah.
Fisk. Love Braden Fisk. I thought
I mean, they
the,
did as good of a job as you can to like kind of fill that void. Obviously, you know,
Oh, my God, imagine they still had him. Imagine they still had him.
this would be the
would
team
be
to
hard to-
beat in the NFC, bro.
I
be
agree.
hard to bet against.
It'd be them and the Lions at the top 2, I think, in the NFC. But I mean, look, I still think it's a great team. I had them at 10-7. Could even see them being 11-6. But I think as long as Stafford is healthy, their floor is 10-7. Honestly, I don't see them going below that. I think this team is too talented not to, and that's where I stand with the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, I don't even hate. I mean, obviously you don't want Stafford to go down, but with McVay, even if they had to rely on like a game manager, Jimmy G, they have Jimmy G. He's suspended for a little bit.
Is their backup?
Stetson
Yep,
Bennett,
he's
bro.
suspended for a few games. Yep.
That's vetted, man. I
Jesus
mean,
Christ, Stetson
Sean
Bennett.
McVay had a Baker Mayfield Van Jefferson game winner in prime time. That's crazy. Like that's great. Like Sean McVay. I mean, like you could argue. he's
Yo,
the best
we
coach
really
in the league.
did a trade of Van Jefferson
For
for
Sam
Sam
Howell.
Howell, bro.
I think that might be the worst trade ever done.
That's
in any league.
disgusting.
Both sides.
In any league.
Honestly,
That's
Sam Howell
disgusting.
started a few games for me last year.
And he was good.
I went
A few
0
games.
12.
The tank commander.
Yeah, no, he was perfect for what I needed, bro.
The tank commander. He was good in fantasy.
He's gonna get his fucking chance, bro.
I hope. I like Sam Howell.
He's a Seahawk, so.
He's a Seahawk.
He can get his fucking chance.
So yeah, I mean, I'm with you on the over. It's hard to not like them, as I talked to both of you guys about. Everyone, as a Jets fan, it's great to hear about the job that they've done with the draft. The Jets. I hear that with the Lions too. The Lions had a great draft as well, but the Rams, man, last year they absolutely killed that draft. To get 4, like Pro Bowl caliber players, none of them in the first round is insane. Like we said this year, this draft was also good. So there's no reason to not like the Rams. The only what if is if Stafford stays healthy, which I'm okay with. It's besides that, like if there's no other hole in that team, that's fine. Like I like that. Like if Stafford stays healthy, this is a good team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys kind of hit on everything. I took the over as well, so I'm not going to repeat what you guys said. Something I want to point out and shed light on is how over the past, 6 to 7 years, the Rams have kind of shifted their philosophy in terms of team building, where it was go out and get the big names, go get Von Miller, go get Jalen Ramsey, go pay all these guys a bunch of money, and they sacrifice their draft capital for that. And
got a ring.
Now they got a ring.
Well worth it.
Right. And now they're kind of, restocking on those draft picks and building a team through the draft. And, I mean, you look at this offense. You drafted a Kyron Williams. You drafted a Puka Nacua. All those guys on defense. We mentioned Braden Fisk, Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Ernest Jones, Jared Verse. You drafted Kobe Durant. You drafted all these guys, and you're building your team through the draft. So I think it's really interesting how they've shifted their team-building philosophy, and they've done a great job so far. So
this offensive line really might be one of the 3 or 5 best units in the entire NFL.
Yeah,
it's
they are
loaded.
The Rams are the Sully of dynasty here.
Yeah, I mean, they have.
Win a ring, do everything for a ring, then break it down.
And build through the draft.
Yeah, they are.
Build through the draft.
Yeah, they are, man.
Get the picks.
I mean, this is one of those teams where, and we were texting about it, I said they could do no wrong. It seems like every move that the Rams make, you just got to trust that they see the vision. There's a vision there. No matter what the draft pick is, no matter what the trade is, they traded a 6th-round pick for one of the best guards in the NFL now, and Kevin Dotson with the Steelers. Didn't pan out there, but the Rams saw the vision there. They saw something there, and he turns out to be one of the best guards in the entire NFL now. It's wild. It makes no sense, but it always works for them, and that's why I just trust the process.
And you always got to trust the guy calling the plays too, Sean McVay. So,
especially when he has a mind meld with the quarterback and Matthew Stafford, bro. Those two are.
Yeah, this is out of, obviously, like we mentioned, we're recording 2 episodes today. We just did the AFC East and the NFC South. This is probably the easiest over of all.
Oh my God, by far.
This is probably if I had to put my money on one of the, now it's going to be 16 teams we've talked about. Damn, half the league. Yeah. One of the 16 teams we've talked about, well, 15 right now, since we didn't talk about the 49ers yet, but if I had to put my money on any of these teams, it would be the over on the Rams, for sure.
Sure.
I'm 100% with that. All right. I also think, real quick, Trey White pickup, I said he sucks. It could be intriguing. Like I said, everything they touch turns to gold. Maybe Trey White finds a little bit of his old form here, too. So, all right, last team. The San Francisco 49ers, and I think we're kind of going to get a little similar to the Chiefs here.
Kind of?
We might not have to say too much about the 49ers.
I was going to say.
This is arguably the best roster in all of football. It didn't change much. I mean, the biggest question mark is surrounding the wide receiver core. Does Ayuk, does Debo get traded? Which one does? But even then, you got Christian McCaffrey. You got one of the two. You got George Kittle. You drafted Ricky Pearsall. I mean, look, something's going to work out here. The only question mark I have with the San Francisco 49ers is their interior of the offensive line. It's disgusting. Yeah. It's gross.
The thing is that was a question last year, too.
It was, and I was about to say that. They're just so good at getting the football out. They're a great run-blocking unit, I will say that, too. And obviously, what does it matter when you have a team that can run block and you have a bunch of running backs that could just absolutely destroy holes? So, I mean,
look, no roster turnover, really, either.
None.
You lost Chase Young, but you replaced Chase Young with Leonard Floyd, who might actually be better than Chase Young.
And it was a rental for a few
years. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's really the most important thing, I guess.
And you get Hufanga back.
Yeah.
That's
huge.
And then hopefully you pray Greenlaw gets healthy as well. So those are two guys that if they come back even 75, 80% of their old selves, bro, this team gets even better. It's insane. And I put This team has the best depth in the entire NFL.
They even added Logan Thomas as a backup tight end.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Logan Thomas.
I even know they had Logan Thomas.
Yeah.
It's not like,
wow.
He's not really that good of a player, but shit, as a backup tight end, if Kittle has to miss a week here and there, like
Logan Thomas a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. Why not? Why not?
The team is deep, and it's
and they bring
everywhere though. It's deep. Like I mean,
deep everywhere.
It's
except
crazy.
for the O-line. But yeah,
I was gonna say you have the running backs. Obviously, if McCaffrey misses time, you can trust Elijah Mitchell. You can trust your boy Jordan Mason. You just drafted Isaac.
On this roster.
Who?
Jordan Mason.
Yes.
He's
I love.
They have those 4 running backs. Someone's gonna get cut. Probably gonna be Eli. That's the.
I don't know.
It might be Jordan. It's between him and Jordan Mason.
Him.
They do, but it's obviously durability. And then wide receivers too, like you said, they had Pearsall. I like Jawan Jennings. I'm happy they locked him up. I think that's huge for them. That's a really big move for them. So yeah, there's nothing to talk about there. They're one of the best teams. It's really just it's not how well will they do in the regular season. Is will Shanahan coach well in the Super Bowl? That's all it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why it just comes down to that.
Why is that a question?
I don't know. It's a bad question. It's crazy.
They also made another under the radar pickup. I didn't even realize this. They picked up Devondre Campbell, who was still good last season too. I mean, this team, man, just top to bottom, it's stacked. It really is stacked. So, as I said, this might be the best roster in the NFL, and if it's not number 1, it's top 3. So
definitely top 3 for sure.
It's really all I got to say about the 49ers. Yeah. I take the over.
Over easy.
Over easy.
Cool. There it is.
Like eggs. Over easy.
They are the eggs.
Over easy. They're the eggs.
The eggs.
All right. So, let's.
I think we agree now with the standings. We agree with the standings.
Yeah, I think you guys changed my mind. I have
49ers.
it number 1. I have the San Francisco 49ers. Number 2, I have the Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals, and then Seattle Seahawks finishing in last place. But this might be the best division in the NFL. It's close.
It's funny. I still have that same thing, but I think I still have the Cardinals and Seahawks both under like 7.5. I might change the Cardinals for over 7.5 to get that 8.
One of the two I'm taking.
I probably will take the Cardinals.
That's why I had to change. One of those teams is going to get it.
Yeah. So I'll change that. I'll do that change, but I'll stick with 49ers, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks. I love that.
All right.
Boom.
These are the best season-long underdog picks for the NFC West. You guys know where I'm going with this. This is the best wide receiver prospect we've ever seen. You pair him up with an elite quarterback. It's Marvin Harrison for higher than 1,075.5 yards. I think he's absolutely going to smash this. I could see him getting upwards of 1,300 yards. So being at only 1,075.5, this is an absolute steal.
All right. So for me, I was just talking up my boy Geno Smith. I'm going to take higher than 3,400.5 passing yards. I think when you have that many weapons, that trio of wide receivers, if they don't trade him, I think, come on, 3,400.5. That's a pretty easy number to hit. So I think he's going to get that 200 yards a game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take. This is the only one of the divisions that I can see that have this type, but I'm going to take. For the Seahawks, Byron Murphy II, higher than 4.75 sacks. Let him get 5 sacks on the year. Yeah, the first defensive prop or the pick that I've seen. So, definitely need to
an interior defensive lineman sack number.
Jump on that.
Jump on. He had 8.5 last year in college. In 17 games. I like it. Why not?
Jump on that.
Let's jump on that.
Yeah, so if you guys want to ride these picks or if you want to fade them, make sure you guys sign up for Underdog and use our code BallGame for a 50% deposit match up to $250 on your first deposit. And you'll get a new customer pick'em special, which is a discounted projection. So make sure you guys sign up and use our code BallGame.
Boom. All right, now we shift gears.
I wanted to go lower for the sacks, but that's not fun. No, I don't think he's going to hit for it.
I don't know if he hits that either.
I don't think he's going to hit that either.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. All right, so now we shift gears. We shift over to the tight end position and our fantasy rankings. So this is going to be a fun one for once with tight ends, I think, because as you said, Chris, at the start of the show, there are a group of guys that very well could be tight end 1. About 6 or 7 names, you could argue. So I'm intrigued to see where this goes. And Chris, go ahead and get us started with 15 through 10.
So before that, I'm just changing things around because there's 2 tiers. There's everyone else, and there's the guys who we think have the potential to finish as the tight end 1.
I had 3 tiers.
You have 3 tiers?
Yeah.
I have 2 tiers. That's it. Actually, No, I'll do 3 tiers. I have 3.
So what are your 3 tiers? So like, how do you have them? So I'll split mine into 3 tiers too.
I have the guys that I think are all gonna be tight end 1, like could be tight end 1.
Okay.
I have the middle ground where I could see them finishing like ahead of some of these guys maybe, but not at the tight end 1 level.
So these guys are a lock, like
top 10 tight ends, easy.
Not tight end 1 overall, but tight end 1s.
Yes.
You know what I mean? These guys are a lock.
Like I'm very confident inserting them into my starting lineup and every week and being okay with it. Like that's how I feel about these guys.
Right.
That's the middle tier for me. And then the bottom tier, I could see it going either way.
All right, yeah. So all right, so I'll get started with that bottom tier where these guys can shoot up there, but I don't know how. I'm okay with starting them every week, but I'd rather have one of these guys above them. But at 15, I have Pat Freiermuth. At 14, I have Dalton Schultz. At 13, I have Cole Kmet. At 12, I have Brock Bowers. And at 12, I have TJ Hawkinson.
Well, at 11, you have TJ, but yeah.
11, I have TJ Hawkinson, just because I don't know what the deal is with his injury. Fully healthy TJ Hawkinson's in the first tier for me, but
I left Hawk off just because I don't know the situation. I think he's going to miss some games.
I have Hawk
on here. After looking at the list, I probably could put him on here, but you know what? Fuck it. We bowl. So at number 15, I have Taysom Hill, and this is one of the most interesting names on the list because apparently the Saints are talking about potentially making him their goal line back. I think he's going to be involved one way or another. Clint Kubiak is going to use a bunch of ways to get him involved in the pass game, the run game, maybe even throwing the football. Who the hell knows? Number 14, I also had Dalton Schultz. Number 13, I have Pat Freiermuth. I think he could be one of the biggest sleeper tight ends in terms of value this season in fantasy football. At number 12, I have Dallas Goedert. And at number 11, I hate to do this, but Deshaun Watson hated throwing to this man, and it's David Njoku. If you were telling me Joe Flacco was throwing, I would probably have David Njoku in the first tier. But it's Deshaun Watson, and that's the problem. Njoku was on pace for around 600 yards last season with Deshaun Watson. I don't trust it. I don't know what's going to happen. They only added another weapon in Jerry Jeudy, so here I stand with David Njoku at 11.
Yeah, so I have a few tiers. I actually have 4 tiers. So number 15 is that tier 4 right now, which is, I mean, it's probably him then lower, but we cut off a 15. It's Taysom Hill. Like you said,
you
for that reason.
Just call it the Taysom Hill tier.
It is right now. It is his own tier.
It's
his own tier because you know he's not going to be. I mean, he might get more snaps at tight end. I don't know Jawan Johnson. I know he's dealing with some injury, but he's going to get used. There's really nothing much else to say. He's the most annoying guy to go against because you know he's going to score some type of points, and he might go off against your team. Then for tier 3, that's Cole Kmet at 14, TJ Hawkinson at 13, Dallas Goedert at 12, and then Brock Bowers at 11.
Okay.
You want to send it back with your next tier?
Go for it.
Sure. So actually, that was tier. The next tier is tier 2. It's kind of like a gap. 10 and 9 are tier 2, which is David Njoku at 10, and then Jake Ferguson at 9. And then the rest are all guys like a C finishing at tight end 1.
Yeah, so I have the same exact tier 2 as you.
Really?
I have David Njoku and Jake Ferguson. You have Fergie ranked ahead of Njoku?
I do.
So do I. So we're on par, man. Yeah, look at us go.
Man. Cool.
All right. I don't have really a tier break here. So these guys are all in the same tier from 10 through 7. I have 6 tight ends that I have above the rest that I think can finish as tight end 1. So at number 10, you guys are going to hate me for this because you're high on him. I have Evan Ingram. I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about him, but I would still be confident starting Evan Ingram on a weekly basis. There's nothing against that. I feel very confident in Evan Ingram, but I also think the guys ahead of him are going to have really good seasons. At number 9, as I said earlier, Brock Bowers is listed at tight end, but I don't think he's going to get used as a tight end. So I think Brock Bowers is going to have a big-time season. At number 8, I have Jake Ferguson, who inherently became the number 2 target for Dak Prescott in the offense last year. I don't know why he's so heavily undervalued in fantasy football drafts in like the 8-9 turn. I think Jake Ferguson's going to have a great season. And then, of course, at number 7, a guy that I don't know how I can say I don't think he could be tight end 1, but there's too many mouths to feed in the offense, and that's George Kittle. So that's why I have at number 7, and that is my second tier of tight ends.
So I do want to say something. So with Evan Ingram, do you know, like, are you aware of, like, this stat? Because it's easy to, like, kind of forget.
His target share is ridiculous.
He had 143 targets last year. The lowest amount of targets he had in a game last year was 5.
Yeah, it's wild.
And he had the lowest amount of catches he had in a game last year was 4. He got 4 catches a game at least every single game.
I know.
It's just that volume share, and like it's not like they improved this receiving room crazy where he's gonna be forgotten. Like he's still Trevor Lawrence's guy. He's gonna try to look for him a lot.
Yeah, you guys are so right, man.
It's hard to not want, because that's the thing with tight ends. Starting at tight end, you're gonna go from those ups and downs. Kittle is a more explosive tight end than Ingram is because he had more yards on way less catches. But Evan Ingram was a more consistent fantasy tight end by a long shot because he's gonna get at least 4 touches a game.
I think my mind comes in with this one because I've been burned by Evan Ingram.
As a Giants fan.
Giant fan. So I get
it.
And look, I don't want to say like, oh, I can't get behind Evan Ingram. Like, I have him in the top 10. I have him at number 10. I have him in the second tier. Like, I do believe Evan Ingram is a very good tight end in the NFL now, and I think he could be a good fantasy asset. It's just, I've been burned by the guy. The name Evan Ingram, I just inherently have to push down a list. I just can't get behind it. I'm sorry, Evan. Like,
all he's missing is touchdowns. If he hasn't scored more than 4 touchdowns since his rookie year. That's the only thing. But besides that, it's there. So to go with I'm gonna just finish. What was your ranking up to?
I went to 7.
So what are we doing now?
We can go to 6, but I just did my second tier.
Our tier 1. Yeah, we just both
1?
Gave our tier 2s, right?
Yeah,
we all gave our tier 2s.
You gave your tier 2? You did.
Yeah, it was
we have the same
Jake
exact.
Ferguson and David Njoku.
Oh wow. Okay. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go for it.
So my tier 1, all guys that could finish the tight end 1. At number 8 is Kyle Pitts. I don't know if that's too low. I do have Dalton Kincaid at 7 above him. I think Kincaid can lead the team, which is why I have Kincaid there. Damn. And then I do have Kittle at 6. I have Kittle at 6. Even last year, it seemed like it wasn't like a crazy Kittle season, and he still finished, I think, like tight end 3 with 1,000 yards. I know there's a lot of mouths to feed, I get it, but it's still George Kittle. You can't really, like, I would be fine if that's on my team. Evan Ingram's top 5 for me. That target share, it's just too good to ignore. I love that. The last 2 years especially. 143 targets last year is insane. That's insane. 114 catches. He's top 5 for me. Mark Andrews, number 4. McBride's at 3. Sam Laporta at 2. And then Kelsey at 1.
All right. Wow. I do have a couple questions. Sure. So Kincaid.
Yeah.
If he's the number 1 target for Josh Allen.
Oh, my God.
So
that'd be crazy.
He's low for you. That was one of my things. Kyle Pitts, gonna be the wide receiver 2, basically.
Yeah. For Kirk Cousins, I understand.
For Kirko.
I mean, like, I like both of those guys, but who would I have ahead? I had Mark Andrews, which
Evan Ingram ahead of those 2.
Yeah,
they're just more explosive than
sure. But so is Kittle. Kittle had more yards. Like, Evan Ingram didn't have 1,000 yards last year at 114 catches, but he's gonna catch the ball. If it's PPR, he's gonna get those catches. That's what you want. I'm not like gonna pass up on at least 4 catches a game. That's 4 points already without the yards. That's crazy. I can't pass up on that. That's just not something to pass up on. That's at least 4 catches a game. And then you have the yards to go with that. I mean, that's a crazy average. So that's the thing. I mean, you're hoping that those guys have the type of season that Evan Ingram had last year. And I just don't see a big regression. He's going to get less than 143 targets probably, but I can't see it being that much less.
All right. To each their own. I'm just, I guess.
I get it, though.
Evan Ingram bias.
Yeah, for sure. And I get it. I completely understand. But
all right, here we go. So number 6, I have Dalton Kincaid. At number 5, I have Sam Laporta. At number 4, I have Kyle Pitts.
Laporta at 5.
At number 3, I have Trey McBride. At number 2, I have Mark Andrews. And at number 1, I have Travis Kelce. I have Sam Laporta so low because the 4 options ahead of him I just think are more explosive players in general. I think the Mark Andrews touchdown, I think that's always going to be there if he just stays healthy. He was on pace for 81 catches, over 900 yards, and 10 touchdowns last season. That would have been good enough for tight end 2. Travis Kelce, of course, and then the passing volume is just going to be there more this season than it was last because there's more weapons, and that just inherently means that Travis Kelce is going to get more involved.
Sure.
Kyle Pitts, I'm really super high on Kyle Pitts this year. I wide receiver 2, man. Like,
not as much as you, bro.
He might have him as tight end 1.
No, he does. He sure.
I'm super high on Kyle Pitts because he's the second target there, and you could argue he might be the first target.
Might be the first target there.
So that's the thing. I'm super high on him and Trey McBride, either the first or second. Look, maybe the second because Marvin Harrison is who he is, but he averaged 15 points per game with Kyler, and he saw no fewer than, if you want to talk about targets, 6 targets when Kyler entered the starting lineup. So very high on Trey McBride. He's also explosive, gets in the end zone a little bit, so we'll see what happens there.
One thing I'll say before you go, especially with Laporta, I have met to. I think it's really just blinded by the fact that like a rookie tight end doing what he did was crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't put him lower than 2 just for that. Like, it's just, especially, I mean, he's probably the number 2 still. But
he is.
So But he probably will have touchdown regression.
I just see less passing volume in that offense a little bit than the guys ahead of him.
I just see touchdown. 10 touchdowns is going to be hard to maintain again for him. I can see him eclipsing 1,000 yards though. I think he could be 1,000 yard tight end for me.
Maybe
he had like 960 something last year.
He did.
But yeah. Fine.
All right. So my tier 1. These are all guys, same as Jason, same as Matt. My tier 1 is guys who I wouldn't be shocked if any of them are the tight end 1 overall. So it's really splitting hairs here. Like, I actually have changed my list about 10 times since we started doing the rankings. I think this is the final list I want to go with. No turning back now. All right. Number 8, I have George Kittle. Number 7, I have Evan Ingram. Number 6, I have Mark Andrews. Number 5, I have Sam Laporta. Number 4, I have Trey McBride. Number 3, I have Dalton Kincaid. Number 2, I have Travis Kelce. And you guys predicted it. The number 1 tight end this year is going to be Kyle Pitts. And you said it. He might be the number 2 receiving option. No, he will be the number 1 receiving option for the Atlanta Falcons.
Drake's that dude, bro.
Drake is that dude, but Drake isn't an elite separator. Drake is going to thrive off of Kyle Pitts being the number 1 receiving option. Kyle Pitts, no matter who you put on him, you put a linebacker on him, you put a safety on him, you put a corner on him, no matter who it is, he has a mismatch every single time. Every single time.
You would think Arthur Smith would realize that.
Right. Crazy that he didn't, but I trust Raheem Morris to understand what he has here. And that's really what this is. Kirk, like, it's not even like a trust thing. Like, I'm pretty certain Kirk is going to make it a priority to get this guy the ball, obviously. Right. Right. I'm going off that. Hawk and Justin Jefferson were both able to thrive with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. But I'm really trusting that Raheem Morris is able to scheme this guy up, scheme him open, and get him the ball, and Zach Robinson. And they're going to realize what they have. I know Brock Bowers just came in, but this is the best tight end prospect we have seen, Kyle Pitts. And we saw it in his rookie year when he had 1,000 yards. You mentioned what Sam Laporta did in his rookie year. What Kyle Pitts did in his rookie year is not normal either. And I know he regressed since then, but he dealt with a bunch of injuries. He came out recently that he dealt with injuries last year as well. Yep. He played through most of them, but he was dealing with injuries last year. And all the rave about mini camps and all that stuff so far, Raheem Morris was saying it the other day that Kyle Pitts is playing like he has some type of chip on his shoulder.
He's about to get a contract. Did he get paid? He might have got. No?
I don't think so.
Oh, boy. There you go. There's another.
I mean, I'll look it up right now.
There's another thing. Because if he didn't get paid, you better expect that man to go crazy this year. Mm-hmm. He's also so young.
Yeah.
23 years old.
Still so damn young. He was drafted at 20. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't think he signed an extension.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he didn't sign an extension.
Boom.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is a guy playing for a contract. It's a guy who everyone seems to, not everyone, but a lot of people who have written him off. He's playing with a quarterback who's going to get him the ball. Like I said before, I trust the talent, and I just, you want to talk about explosive, like this could be the most explosive tight end in the NFL, just the way he could generate big plays over the top. He does it in a way that no one else can. Maybe Travis Kelce compares, but like Travis Kelce isn't beating you over the top like a Kyle Pitts. No one is. There's no tight end in the NFL who could do what he does. So I think he's going to put it all together this year. I think the Falcons are making it a priority for him to put it all together this year. They need him to put it all together this year if they want to get to where they want to get to. So I'm gonna ride that.
I might like change my list eventually too. I don't even know if I like Laporta 2 anymore. I might move Laporta so much. I feel like he could easily be an 8.
I don't know if I'd have him that low, but I felt like 5 was the perfect spot for him.
I might move
because like he's not overly explosive.
But like no,
he's very reliable.
I agree. Like, would we be shocked if Evan Ingram has a better season than Sam Laporta?
That's what I'm saying.
After you guys were talking to me about him, I wouldn't.
Like George Kittle, are we shocked if George Kittle has a better season?
That's why I might
actually
put Laporta at 8. I don't know, but.
Like again,
it's all entertaining.
I know you guys don't feel the same way about Kittle potentially being tight end 1, but like
no, I do.
Kittle,
he does. I don't.
I have
Kittle's the end of this tier for me. Like, and I have Kyle Pitts at number 1. So let's just say like this: are we shocked if George Kittle has a better fantasy season than Kyle Pitts?
No.
Hell no.
He would be.
Hell no.
Yes,
are we?
I would, man. I would.
Like, I think,
shocked?
Yes.
I'm not
shocked
expecting it. I wouldn't predict it, but shocked? No, bro. No.
Okay, so as I said before, if you trade Ayuk or Debo, throw Kittle in this tier. Throw Kittle in my top 5.
Great.
I mean, shit.
Been great with those guys there, bro.
He was 3rd last year. I know a lot's changed.
A lot of
changed.
touchdowns, not a lot of targets.
A lot of yards, though.
A lot of yards. Yes, I agree. But
continue.
But bro, he was so great after the catch, and I know it's still possible that he does
ranking
that again,
him ranking him
hard,
outside of this tight end 1 tier is basically you saying you're expecting Kittle to regress.
I don't see Kittle because he can't be in my tier with Jake Ferguson.
Yeah, you're right.
Like he has.
Then I'll be shocked.
Like I think there are other guys.
I'd be more shocked at that than I would if he's tight end 1. Okay, that's totally fair.
There's other.
He's in my first.
Like there's other. Like I'm more confident in a Kyle Pitts being the tight end 1. I'm more confident in a Travis Kelce being the tight end 1.
All the guys that I listed ahead,
that's why you have them ahead, but you have to have him in that tier, bro.
Okay, yeah. You guys are right. You guys.
Same thing with Evan Ingram. He had after the 140 targets.
No, I get that.
Evan Ingram has to be in that tier, bro.
He's in my tier. I understand your reason.
I got 7 guys in that tier now. That after the George Kittle's talk. Yeah. You guys are right. You guys are right.
I had to move Kyle Pitts up.
Bro, I think
8
speech.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's why I was like, whoa.
There are guys.
He might go for like 1,200, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
He might go for like 12 touchdowns.
Bro, what's the tight end record for yards in a season?
Like 1,400, bro.
1,500 by Kelce, I'm pretty sure.
He got 1,500.
I think he got like close to.
He's not.
I think he got 40.
He's not doing that.
He's not. I was about to say, yo, he's about to go for the record. Nah, he ain't doing that.
He's not doing it.
That's the GOAT, bro. That's really the GOAT. Oh my God.
No.
1,500 is in
14-16.
That's nuts.
But what is Kyle Pitts' touchdown
11
history?
That year.
Not that much.
Yeah, he hasn't been a big red zone guy.
No, he hasn't scored that many
That's a big thing for. I mean,
But
they have to improve it.
But bro,
I'm sorry, but
throw it
take
all out
the
the
rest of what he
window,
had
bro.
and throw it out
I understand, but I also can't like doing that also has to take what these other guys have done for me,
Bro.
and not include.
Think about like Bijan's touchdowns from last year. Do you know how many times they got down in that fucking red zone last year and either gave it to Cordell Patterson, Tyler Algier, or it was an end around for Jonnu Smith?
Jonnu Smith took so many motherfucking touchdowns from Kyle Pitts, bro.
Many, bro. So many.
And now the offense is better with Kirk Cousins
out of the window, bro. That shit is out the window.
You gotta erase that from your mind because it doesn't matter.
Fuckery, bro.
It doesn't matter.
No more of that fuckery, bro.
The same thing goes for Drake London. Like, obviously, and the fantasy community's kind of throwing that out there, too. Like, Drake London has now moved up boards tremendously. He's a mid-second round pick now,
insane
bro.
How high
It's nuts.
But, like,
makes sense.
I'm drafting him.
Me too. I would draft him there.
Bro.
Like, it's wild to me, bro. But
like, Pitts is my must-have player this year.
I don't blame you for that.
For that value, it's crazy.
A-Rich is mine.
His value is closer to where I have him ranked. That's a steal. That's
I think Trey McBride's another one of the guys that I'm like all in on.
I really do deep down in my heart believe Kyle Pitts is going to be the #1 target for them.
I can see that.
Yeah, I totally could see it too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it out the question.
No.
All right, wow. This was a whole lot of podcasting today,
It
fellas.
was a long day.
Jason, thank you, bro.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Thank you.
I hope to be back soon, dude.
You really just stuck around with us for like 5 hours.
Man.
6, going on 6.
Well, we're going to record a few TikToks, too.
Yeah, we got a few more TikToks coming.
No more trivia, though.
Really? I like the trivia.
No more trivia.
Wait till you guys see those. Or unless
they're
by
gonna
this
see
time
them,
you'll have seen them. Yeah. By this time you'll have seen them.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out our TikTok for some trivia.
My God, there were some great names thrown out there. In both of them. But yeah.
Jarvis Green.
But yeah, it's been fun. It's been a great time. Jason, again, thank you.
Football is back, man.
Football's so back.
God bless. Fantasy football's back.
And
NFL
so you guys are
back.
seeing this on Tuesday, July something. I don't know the.
Is this the Tuesday one? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is Tuesday. Thursday, so in 2 days from now, after you guys see this, we will be doing a mock draft. It's no Matt, no Jason, but Tom will be back. And it'll be me, Tom, and a very, 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 very special guest doing a mock draft, kind of just to split up these division previews and fantasy rankings. So,
wait,
and then
you're not gonna be here?
I will not. I'll be on vacation.
So you just film it?
no, we're gonna do a Zoom. We're gonna do Zoom.
Oh, you guys gonna still come down?
Yep,
to the studio?
they're coming in to give me keys and everything. Yep.
Well, we used to do it at my house. They did one at my house without me.
That's
did.
bad.
Your parents were home though,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. My parents will not be.
Imagine we break in and do a podcast.
Yeah.
Setup.
So just give us a key.
Good setup, man.
That's a great idea. You're right. But yeah. Again, Jason, love you, buddy. Thank you for being on.
Guys, thank you.
What a time this has been. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. Please follow that TikTok, bro. We're so close to 10K. We're getting there. So push it there and
Maybe by the time they see this, we'll be at 10K.
honestly,
Hell yeah.
maybe, bro. 1 week. That's all. So all right. And with that, ball game.
Ball game.